You used to stop this world from spinning. Like Superman, you were the only one to find the strength in all that I was dealing with this life, like kryptonite. And if you keep me close, every minute in this hourglass, you hold. Oh, 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 and when I fall to be right then I'll wait to say me, a superhero in your sleep. A superhero in your sleep. You called my soul when I was falling. You moved the clouds to stop me from hitting the ground. And every goal there was a meaning. For this love ain't kryptonite. And if you keep me close, every minute in this hourglass, you hold. Oh, 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 and when I fall to be right then I'll wait to say me, a superhero in your sleep. A superhero in your sleep. Oh, 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 and when I fall to be right then I'll wait to say me, can you feel it wrapped around your soul with no control? You can't breathe when you're drowning underwater. There's so much water. I'll run, I'll hide. Darkness always clouds my mind. When I look Can you feel it wrapped around your soul with no control? You can't breathe when you're drowning underwater. There's so much water. I can't pretend that I have a strong defense. Stop this, or you're
our souls began to intertwine. Your heart of gold, so pure, divine, and I lost myself within the fire, breaking free from my desire. A heart of gold forged to inspire. It's starfire. It's starfire. On this journey we will find our souls begin to intertwine. Your heart of gold, so pure, divine, and I lost myself within the fire, breaking free from my desire. A heart of gold forged to inspire. It's starfire. It's starfire.
The truth is a damn hard pill to swallow. I'm reaching out, but all I feel is hollow. I wanna make you work, but all I do is make you worse. The truth is a damn hard pill to swallow. Don't you wanna come on over? Don't you wanna work it out? Don't you wanna love me better, love me better, love me now? Don't you wanna fix our problems? Baby, I can show you how. Don't you wanna love me better, love me better, love me now?
used to stop this world from spinning. Like Superman, you were the only one to find the strength in all that I was dealing with. This life like kryptonite. And if you keep me close, every minute in this hourglass, you hold. Oh, 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 and when I fall too deep, we be left in our way to save me. A superhero in the a superhero in You called my soul when I was falling. You moved the clouds to stop me from hitting the ground. And every goal there was a meaning. For this love ain't kryptonite. And if you keep me close, every minute in this hourglass, you hold. Oh, 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 and when I fall too deep, we be left in our way to save me. A superhero in your sleep. A superhero in your sleep. Oh, oh, and when I fall too deep, we be left in our way to save me.
Can you feel it wrapped around your soul with no control? You can't breathe when you're drowning underwater. There's so much water. I'll run, I'll hide. Darkness always clouds my mind. And I look behind. It's moving closer every time.
feel it wrapped around your soul with no control. You can't breathe when you're drowning underwater. There's so much water.
Says he doubles up. Can he get the triple?
everybody, and welcome back to the Legion Africa Cup, brought to you by Legion by Lenovo. My name is Darshi, and I'm going to be hosting this tournament. I'm here with two very talented analysts. We have next to me Sammy, aka Flip, and we have Adam, aka Hope the Beast. How are you guys doing today?
I'm doing amazing. How are you?
Every day we have to take turns.
I know.
One day I will answer, one day you'll answer.
I don't know. I feel like his eyes are on me. Hope's eyes are on me. It's like, is she gonna mess up this time? Is she gonna do it properly?
You didn't mention my name first 2 times, okay?
I think
Of
I
course I'm
did,
gonna
but
be- no,
you
you
weren't
didn't.
focused with me.
You were
How could
asking Sammy how are you. You didn't ask me.
I think you're mistaken. How could I forget someone
is a-
like you?
there
Hope?
is
How
really-
could I do that? Just think
Ah,
about
There's only one hope.
exactly. There's only one hope. So, are you guys excited for our last day of the qualifiers with Kenya and Nigeria?
Yes, of course.
We're super excited, and hopefully we can get to see some more exciting games that go into. Okay, you know what? I'm not gonna say anything because the curse is real,
Thank you.
and it's been proven that it's real. So let's just say, hopefully we have a good time. I'm not going to any specifics, but let me remind you guys about the $50 that is up for grabs to be added to your Steam wallet. All you have to do is go on gaming.lenovo.com. You can either post a clip from the broadcast or you can go and vote for your favorite team. And once you're there, why not check out for some other offers? All right, so let's recap a little bit about what happened yesterday. So as we know, we had VYBN versus the Flying Crusaders, and we had the Mavericks losing against Royalty. So can you give me a quick recap about what happened yesterday and if we're going to be seeing the same amount of rivalry today?
So as we noticed yesterday, we have noticed Vertigo and Mirage. So let's talk about what really happened as in overall. It was a good game of individual skills. However, yet tactically, I haven't actually noticed that kind of ability. Like Nabi, we saw like
You guys are
80K,
big
I mean,
fans of
Bravado.
Navi.
I mean, Navi showed us the real CS that we wanted to watch.
Yes.
Especially winning like the big difference in rounds. They still managed to play good CS. They didn't throw, they didn't just push, they didn't. So they played really good CS.
As tactically speaking, Adam said a really good point. They showed us true CS. This is what is actually missing right now, is retaking zones. It's not all about aim. It's all about how you adapt so well in the game. And we saw that in Nabi. This is the only team I have seen so far. Maybe it's in Bravado as well, but I'm yet to look forward to actually some kind of tactically yes.
Well, hopefully today we'll have another big name like Nabi that you praise so much, like Bravado, like ADK. But you know, it could be today, could be, you know, another time, but it could be some team that didn't prove themselves previously. Maybe they were holding back and now they're going to show us their true colors. So with that, let's go ahead and see the tournament schedule. So just to remind you guys, the qualifiers have already completed for Egypt, Morocco, Tunisia, and South Africa. And we are currently on the last day for the qualifiers for Kenya and Nigeria. The first day was on the 20th of December. The second day was on the 21st of December. And the last day, which is today, is on the 22nd of December. And after that, we have the playoff schedule for Egypt, Morocco, and Tunisia, 27th, 28th, and 29th of December. And for South Africa, Kenya, Nigeria, it will be in the new year, 10th, 11th, and 12th of January. After that, we have the long-awaited finals, which will consist of the quarterfinals, semifinals, and the finals. For Egypt, Morocco, and Tunisia will be on the 4th, 5th, and 6th of January, while for South Africa, Kenya, and Nigeria will be on the 17th, 18th, and 19th of January. Now, for the grand finals, the grand finale, any region can participate. We still don't know which regions are going to be part of it. It will take place on the 20th of January.
The best of each.
The best of each region. Well, the best of each region, I'm not sure. I think it's just the 2 best regions.
Yes.
What we're going to get. So I've asked you this before. Let me know. Has your answer changed? Which 2 regions are we going to see? I know you love Nabi, so I know we're going to have South Africa in there.
Versus Egypt.
Still with Egypt. We're not changing our mind based on what we've seen from Kenya and Nigeria so far.
I assume my prediction will be 90% is we're gonna see Nasser Esports against Nabi, and it's going to be a really tough match when it comes to Nabi playing against Nasser Esports in the final. As you know, Nasser is a very, very
Talented. They're
Very
very
talented.
talented players.
and experienced team. They have been playing in a lot of official tournaments, online and LAN. So for me to see that kind of a final, it's gonna be a mix of a developed team against a new team. However, they are skilled. So I'm really, it's a true test for Nabi. That's my honest opinion.
Well, that's going to be the true test of, raw talent, experience, and all that we discussed before that you guys were so
Yes.
heated about. So we're going to have the answer to that very
I mean,
soon.
honestly, about Navi playing, I don't think they lack experience after what we saw from them. I think they're all talented, experienced. Maybe they didn't have the chance to brighten. Now they did, and they shocked all of us by the way they played. So I don't think they're lacking experience. Actually, I think they have very good experience, especially the way they played Mirage. I hope to see the same play style in any other map as well.
I have a small question
please.
for Adam.
Yes.
I hope you can answer it. If Nabi reaches the final against Nasser, you know,
Yeah.
they are experienced. They have been in a lot of finals. They have been playing and winning a lot of tournaments. Will Nabi handle the pressure?
This is a question we're gonna find out.
Let's see.
I like that very mysterious answer coming in from Hope. But let's get reminded about the prize pool, the juicy prize pool that our contenders are going to want a piece of. First place, we have $12,000. Second place is $5,000, and third place is $3,000. A lot of money on the line, a lot of representation, a lot of proving that we are the best. We can do this. We deserve to be in the spotlight. A lot of proving to do for these teams, and let's actually go and jump right ahead into the region that we're going to be playing today. As we know, it is Kenya and Nigeria. We've already witnessed the first 2 days of the tournament qualifiers, and the third day, hopefully, we're going to be getting, a better game, a different game than what we've already experienced. And for the tournament qualifiers for Kenya and Nigeria, specifically day one, just to remind you guys, we had X Gaming versus Illicit Esports. X Gaming, the wild card from South Africa, unfortunately could not get the win against Illicit Esports. Then we had Regicide Gaming versus ATK Academy, with ATK sniping that win, even though that game was super close, if you guys remember that. And I believe for day three, I see Regicide Gaming again.
I'm really happy to see that name.
Okay, it seems like they got another chance. They got another wild card pick. So we're going to be seeing them again today, which is great because I remember you guys telling me that, I wish that they had the best of three. I wish they had another chance.
If you remember that game specifically, it was Inferno, and 14-10 ATK was up. So Regicide took a pause. However, they were not lucky to actually get the comeback and maybe win the game. However, ATK actually proved us that they shut it down. Regicide, I told you, if you remember, Regicide actually, I want to see them playing a best of three. I hope they will win today. They really have good talents. They actually know how to play CS, and they really actually know how to play together. That's what I mean. So it's really good. It's really exciting. It's gonna be an exciting game for the last day.
So are we expecting them to show the same amount of comeback as ADK did?
Yes,
Is that
yes,
what we're
yes,
looking
yes.
for?
I promise you that.
Oh, wow. A
I promise.
promise from our analyst right here. I do believe we have another wild card today as well. Zero Hacks, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah,
They're back
Yeah.
as well from South Africa. What do you expect from them? Do you think that they're going to prove themselves like ADK
I don't
did?
think
Or
we
do you
saw them
think
play the first time.
We saw them.
we did? They did lose.
They did.
They did,
They
unfortunately.
did lose. Okay.
So do you think they're going to be like X Gaming where they weren't able to get the win? Or do you think they'll be like ADK
All
and
due,
prove themselves?
all due respect to Zero Hacks, I'm not really confident about that pick. So I'm not gonna say that they are gonna win. However, if they do and really actually studied their mistakes from the past loss, then we might see different encounter, a different kind of CS. I'm hoping to see a different, like 360 degrees, different team. You understand me? Like yesterday they were down, and then tomorrow they are like bouncing back and just ready to actually show that we are Zero Hacks. I would love to see that. As well.
Well, here's hoping, and I believe the game that we have next is going to be Zero Hacks versus Terra Esports. And we just got news about the map. The map is Mirage. Do Do you think that Zero Hacks has a chance in Mirage?
I
Or
mean,
do you
if it's
think
Mirage, then yes, because it's a public and a team play map, so we can see both plays from it.
Okay, what about the fact that Terra Esports actually won the knife round? And what side do you think they picked?
CT for sure.
They did indeed pick CT side, so tell me why that's a good side to pick.
It's a normal side. It's actually like any team who wins the knife round, any team you see, 90% of them just take the CT side. Unless you have a really good team who has prepared really well to have a
Someone's
really
stealing my
perfect B
answer.
side.
Someone's stealing my answer.
Okay, okay. Now
You could say the same answer, just phrase it differently.
No,
It's
Let's
okay.
show
because
we have-
yesterday we had a discussion about me picking T side and he picked CT side. And that's
Oh,
what I
he switched
answered.
his answer. Is that what's happening?
Yeah, see, exactly.
you know,
He's just
Great
influenced
minds
by
are alike.
you.
it's okay to actually.
Okay, now okay,
Admit it,
I
it's
cannot
fine.
say anything now.
He didn't steal your answer. He was inspired
I'm
by
just
your
joking, just
answer.
joking.
I'm inspired by it.
Exactly. You were
Ah,
so
stop,
correct in
man.
your answer that he just changed his mind completely. You
He
should
has
be
to
proud
change
of
his
that.
nickname from Hope the Beast, Adam the Beast. Not Hope. I don't like Hope.
All right. Well, is there anything else you can tell me about this map? Tell me about the pace. Tell me about what is needed to win this map. Is it purely skill based with aim, or are utilities a very important factor?
This
Well,
map, this map can be played in all ways. It can be slow, it can be fast. Tactics, we can see a lot of public plays, pushes through smokes, pushes through molly. This map is built different than any other map because it's the most played map publicly. And in pugs, you see 90% of the time it's gonna be a Mirage game. Plus, it's the comfort zone of every player who plays a lot of pugs because Mirage is the map that doesn't need a lot of tactics. Although if you have a good leader, you are gonna indeed have good tactics, good calls. You're gonna see a good CS, the way Nabi showed us. But in general, overall, it's a map T side known as you should take mid control because it's the opening key for any other side. CT side, if you cannot fight mid, you cannot fight mid from the T side. You have to take A, you have to take B. You choose. You cannot let them play in a comfort zone.
Well, do you think in this map we will be op dependent as well?
90%.
90%.
99 also.
99%. Very, very
And
serious.
Opal has a huge
Huge impact on
impact
this
in
map.
this map.
And also, let's not deny the fact that they actually, whoever takes mid control will actually benefit a lot from the scoreboard. So, mid control is a really sensitive spot. As you remember, I told you yesterday, vertigo, A ramp control, dust 2 and A long. So, this is one of the spots where it's really sensitive. However, how well are the CTs, which is Terra, how well are they gonna adapt to actually to counter that mid aggression from the opposite team? I mean, it could go either way. If they have a really good lurk who can actually go to, like, let's say, ladder room, hide an underpass, or sneak up in con and try to open these kind of opportunities, it's gonna be turned. The tables are gonna be turned. That's for sure.
All right, well, here's hoping that they're going to be listening to your advice. And before we start the match, let's actually take a look at the logos. We've already seen the one for Zero Hacks. So Terra Esports is going to be showing us their very nice turtle logo. What do you think
If you
about
don't
the
tell me
logos?
Zero Hacks is gonna win because of this logo, then I don't
think
want
they
to
changed their logo.
judge. They did.
They came with a new logo as well. Go ahead, Zero Hacks. Then
Zero Hacks.
Respect for the logo effort. So what are our serious predictions considering that Terra Esports is going to be starting from CT side, and let's not base it wholly on the
Yeah.
logo.
No.
Let's get a bit
No,
technical
honestly,
on
if
that.
Zero Hacks plays the game confidently, coming back to dominate, then I think we're gonna see a rough CT side from Terra. If Zero Hacks plays Mirage as it should be played, and with good chemistry and playing it together, then I think they might have a little bit of problem in CT. If they practice and they're confident enough and they have good chemistry, they scrim, I don't think we're gonna see any issues then.
All right, so your prediction is Zero
Zero
Hacks. What
Terra.
about you?
Terra.
Terra Esports. Are you just simply saying that to be the opposite
It's
of
a
Hope?
random
Or...
call. I'm just gonna go opposite of Adam today.
But you just said Zero Hacks because of the logo. With
I mean, okay, it's the logo. I'm gonna
What's
go
wrong with
against
you? Are
our
you okay,
tradition.
Sami, today?
Come again?
Are you okay today?
I'm going against our tradition today.
against your
Gonna go with
tradition?
Terra today.
Going with Terra. Okay, well, are you guys going to bet the $12,000 first prize on these predictions, or are we a little bit shaky on it?
Kind of tough, really tough.
It's tough, especially
There's
since we
a lot
haven't
of good
seen
teams.
Terra
There's
Esports
a lot
yet.
of good.
Look, I could predict you 70% of the time or 60% if it's gonna be the playoffs. However, in qualifiers, it's really
It's
tricky.
still too early.
It's really dangerous to actually place your bets on such kind of matches, to be honest. But if we're talking about qualifiers, it's really tricky. It could go anyway, both ways.
Especially only watching a one map. I mean, we might be talking so much good about Nabi, but we've seen only one map.
Yes.
But the way they played this map showed us that they're really confident and they really know how to play CS. Why we're not judging other teams that confident? Because we've seen one map. Have we seen good CS? We did perfect CS like Nabi gave us? No. So one map, it's hard to judge unless you give us what Nabi did. Okay, then we might give a good prediction.
All right, well, with that, our casters are indeed ready to start the match. So we're going to take it over to goals and lighter. Good luck, guys.
Welcome to week 2, day 3 of the Legion African Cup. Once again, it's myself brought to you with Golzy. How you doing?
Oh, good new tool, Z. Can't complain. Ready for day 3. Yeah. Keen for some more CS.
100%. We have Terra. We have Zero Hacks versus Terra Esports on the the map Mirage. CT side will be Terra Esports. We don't know much about these two teams. I'm going to go ahead and take a blind bet on Zero Hacks for sure. Something about the name of the logo that gets me. Who's your blind bet on Golzy?
It was actually on Zero Hacks as well, so we're going to have to unfortunately get either proven very right or very wrong here. Luckily, we only the commentators and the guys on the desk, they have the responsibility of calling the right predictions. But no, I think we saw them earlier. I think they are a solid squad, and I think they're going to show us what they got in this game. But yeah, only time will tell. I think I'm interested to see who's in the lineup of Terra Esports for sure before I make a more calculated guess. But for now, it's with Zero Hacks.
Yeah, 100%. I would also like to see the two rosters. But Mirage is quite a nice map to really showcase your team's individual skill, coordination, and the strat book or execute you have sitting there to really open a bit of a public. I'm gonna say public, a pub map. So there's things you can go about individually. Try open up the field in middle. Try create those openings. Get the entry frag on the CT side. If you like the AWPs, it complements the rifles that AWP as well, wouldn't you say?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, I guess we'll find out now because we'll be jumping into this game shortly. But certainly a strong map for the AWP presence. I think if you have a dominance AWP, I think especially on the CT side too, like where you can open those frags in middle, you can hold that angle towards ramp, you can play that retake towards A. There's just so many options with that AWP on the CT side. But to jump into it now, we have got Terra Esports versus Zero Hacks. We've got numbers working towards this B side. It's a little bit of a stack, but T's are slowly setting up for an execute there. Again, another read on this B side breach. Equipment's raining in now, and surely the rotations pull through, but it is now on the entry fraggers to push through and see what they can do. No, there is quite a few rotations. Beautiful shots there. That is absolutely disgusting. Terra Esports closed that up just as quick as they opened it up. That was insane.
That was a terrifying pistol for Zero Hacks. I'm 100% for sure. Hacktivist. I couldn't get the boys rolling over there. So on Zero Hacks, we have Hacktivist, Garrett, Aluku, Big Dog, and Fate. And as you can see on Terra Esports, Jaded, Spazzer, Old New, Excessive, and Benji. We'll see what these boys have in store for us. It's still the pistol round. Very important round to win. So just some upgraded pistols from Zero Hacks into this round. Being stacked up towards a ramp. They haven't got much utility, so it's pretty much going to be a dry peak. I think there's a smoke in A ramp, so they can abuse it and burst into that player when need be. Two defendants here from Terra Esports to hold it down.
Yeah, absolutely. We see another smoke go towards the laps. Then Zero Hacks right now just setting up for this A breach. They're going to just pop and go through off the back of, I think, not even a flash, just going to burst out this A ramp. And right now we do have two CTs on the other side of things. All the util is used though. So as soon as the smoke fades, I believe we'll see action. Right now you see them creeping up towards that A side. The flash comes in, it's good. And now they can peek out towards ramp, gets two quick frags, but that leaves the remainder of the players pushing up ramp and apartments. And right now the players at apartments are disconnected and can't seem to break through that smoke, obviously popping at the perfect right time and just not able to get anything done. And forced to retreat for the heals, perhaps go back to A ramp, but CTs are all there. They've obviously got the man advantage, positional advantage as well, and this is now a tall order for Zero Hacks, and again, not really much invested into the round, but that said, an absolutely swimming start here for Terra Esports. Just no deaths yet, I don't believe.
Yeah, they're just trying to play it slow. Maybe they can find us some good economical damage. I think it's the trade, and it's getting a bit expensive here. Goldsy Garrett walking out there. Get the hand cannon, but it's not going to work out. We're just going to do the second round on the board. 3 members, that's the magic number. We'll see what the next round has in store for us.
We should see the keys purchase up momentarily. It doesn't look like they're going to be committing fully to this round either. They're not happy with the buy they're going to be able to get from this. They're going to pick up some more light pistols, a little bit of utils to support this burst, but it looks like at the moment still a little bit undecided on where they're headed. But CTs are great financial position here. Already got it, getting under control. Pop flashing now to take control. And there's one player that's already been taken down. Beautiful peaks coming out
Benji
of
fast.
the AWP in Benji. Yeah, Benji real fast. That was some nice. Pop it off again, and now looked really close, but no cigar. Still only the 1 frag so far from Zero Hacks. Now Big Tools is slowly falling down here, but that said, they haven't even bought yet. I mean, they're going to have loads of money in the next round.
100%. Should have picked Terra Esports, for sure. But we'll see how this game unravels. Shaded. Excessive. Good off angle to close it off, and that's 3 on the board. And we're gonna move into the meat and potatoes of this matchup. Zero Hacks finally have a bar in their hands, hopefully an AWP. See, Garrett does have 6k. And Terra Esports are gonna remain with their buy excessive, gonna hold on to the UMP just to cheat the economy a little bit. That's gonna be a bonus round for him. The next round, they can pretty much invest if they do end up losing this round. Garrett picks up the AWP. Let's see what kind of default Zero Hacks has in store for us. Top mid smoke, just some control. And some utility will be provided by this displacement of util cat smoke. So there's 3 smokes on the board. Jaded's gonna find it hard to find some Pixie Slings cat. Oh, and he gets a fadeaway with that A1. A bit more accurate than the A4. Spray control isn't as hard as more utility gets bombarded. The CT should start to slowly rotate back. Jaded and 3 HP. And just getting torn apart here in middle utility. Hasn't really aided them thus far. Terra Esports able to find some gaps in between here and there, and that's a disadvantage.
Yeah, very quickly. I mean, just there we go. Finally, they bounce one back in the form of Fate, getting that quick headshot towards that next area. Smoke haven't faded away yet, and that gives them a comeback position in this round. But now all players are gathering towards that connected position. Of course, deep ramp control already maintained by the CTs, and now Benji going to take position towards this connector. Oh my god, what a dirty shot. Takes off the player towards another one in connector, and now surely he knows he's got the bomb down, can call over all of his teammates. They know where to be cautious from, but it is Benji that seals the deal. 3 quick Trey K there. As a cucumber.
Yeah, looking real comfortable on that AWP. Zero Hacks, there's some economical damage, and I think this is their first test or their first hurdle towards taking mid control. Was their first gun round, so try use that information. Know that Terra likes to be kind of proactive towards cap con in the middle, so use that against them somehow. Excessive going to be taking point or playing under bulk. Isolated under here, so it could get a bit hairy if support doesn't come in soon enough. That's a utility getting deployed, and old new gonna counter towards up, so it isolates one armor of the attack, but only the A ramp for the next couple of seconds. And old new a timely peek onto A ramp, picks up the open, and yeah, what tag team do on the A side, holding up strong. The fort seems secure, the fort is held like champions so far. Oh, touchdown. And quick as you'd like, 5 rounds on the board for Terra Esports. Zero Hacks, some food for thought, scratching their heads. What solution is needed so far? I think exploit B, exploit A. Just put a bit of user mill to preoccupy Terra Esports.
Yeah, agreed. I feel like they're not really doing much to disrupt the early stages of the round for Terra Esports. They very quickly be able to like establish whether the team's coming towards middle, whether they're executing onto a site, and just getting control of zones for pretty much free. And right now we do see some sort of split coming out of Zero Hacks now, which I do prefer. We see the presence getting made towards that middle area, presence being made towards that B region as well. They're taking middle now nicely, and Benji still not seeing much here with these smokes that have deployed. Kind of denies him quite a bit of info, but now eventually we see the first duel, and it is quickly responded to by Hacktivist. Gets that frag and oh, gets a nice little nade there off the back of the wall as well. Gets the advantage now for the first time, I believe, in this game for Zero Hacks. Perhaps an opportunity for them to put on a round here, but that is the thorn in the side, is this amount of control that they have towards this A-ramp area, surely signaling that these players have to be towards middle and have to be towards B most likely. And right now, all the bells are singing towards that middle area. You can see the CTs taking somewhat slightly aggressive duel. Old underscore new, fancy stuff there. Brings things back down to an advantage for his team here. Terra Esports 3 versus 2 now.
Yeah, kind of what happens when you have that single prong attack. You start to get flanked, excessive advancement space to work with. In any moment now, you'll be able to confirm how many players are sitting in middle. But they've evaded him and lurked through towards lowers. I think Spaz might just have an inkling where they could possibly go. There's 20 seconds on the clock, and soon enough they have to start using some of that pace. And Old New already knows where they're headed due to the confirmation from the player lurking towards A. And yeah, Crossfire should be strong. If they can get the bomb down, that seems impossible. Spaz doubles down 2K for him, and that's 6 rounds on the board. Yeah, I haven't really seen some glimmer of hope or some life in Zero Hacks, maybe some extensive util usage or some collaborated aggression
Some sort of
towards
use,
the
yeah.
side. It's been in between those ideologies, which is really coming back to bite them. So they need to just straighten up, use attack pause perhaps.
Yeah, very, very convincing performance here from Terra. And there we go. That's the patience that we wanted to see. Zero Hacks get that opening frag. Let's see if they can maintain that or keep that advantage, what they choose to do with it. But no, they respond and they give an opening up back to Terra Esports. They equalize things 4 versus 4 now. Quite a bit of util being expanded from both sides on this A side, and this is where the T's are choosing to hit now. They've confirmed that this is where they want to go. Rotations are coming thick and fast from that connector area, from that spawn area, but again, both smoked and a shot through the smoke, and as good as you like, just imagines or guesses where players coming from, and now shooting away that best person. Now he's able to pick and spam through the smoke again. Old New again speaks into the box. This is unrelenting aggression here from the CTs, just posting and getting all the frags. I mean, this is the closest round we've had. Tools up to 2, but I can't help but say that again. Another convincing hold there from the A side. No real pressure, no real information or confusion in the rotations for Terra Esports. Just, you know, they know they're coming A, and they've got their plan to deal with it accordingly, and they do it superbly.
Yeah, not even a diversion sort of thrown towards the middle to perhaps, you know, seed in the idea that there could be a lurker at all. This went straight towards the A side, and although Terra were losing some numbers, I think they felt in control majority of that round. So Terra Esports not showing any cracks just yet. 10K and Benji, so they got money to throw around the next round as well. So they can keep getting financially expensive for now. One round away from winning the half. Zero Hacks need to show us something. So far, I like this slow methodical pace that they're using. 2 players towards middle 3, towards upper B, perhaps a split. They got the focus of the mid players, but they need to win the duel shaded. Good burst onto Big Dog there to open up the scoreboard, but a trade does come from Garrett. Perhaps is this the space that we're looking for to move into the side? All New picks off the lurker in the middle, so it just becomes a one-prong attack. They're going moving into the side there, but the threat comes in from Jay to trade it out. Bomb shortly going to be put down for the post. Rotten Hacktivist and Alu need to bring it back, but caught in no man's land, and Aluku has been spotted. So 1 versus 3. Needs to find his one-on-one engagement, finds the first. Smoke does provide some cover, but All New, he smells him. He closes it out, and that's 8 rounds on the board. Yeah, like I said, it's a rinse and repeat. You're getting some frags on the board, but the post round, once again, betraying them.
Yeah, nowhere close, really. I mean, they got into the site there. They killed the player that was holding it. But from like an overall map perspective, they just had no control. And just a matter of time until the overwhelming numbers from Terra Esports rotated into that site and kind of figured out where they were. So, yep, they are looking solid. It's about time that this pause came through from Zero Hacks as well. We saw them show a formidable side of their Counter-Strike the other day, but so far battling to get off the mark here and battling to build off, or bring any sort of round close to conversion really. And Terra Esports are looking really good. I mean, two players with over 10k, they can start just balancing the buying out and pretty much having in a very short while, if it goes the way it has been going, they're going to have an economy for the rest of the game, and that's a scary thing to face, especially when you're at T-side. You're really struggling, not even getting any sort of bomb plants or regular bomb plants and regular frags, etc. It's difficult to build up that resistance. But into the 9th round we go now, 8-0. Terra Esports really doing well here. Still only using the one kind of setup, but it's worked for them so far, so easy to change that just yet. But now we see quite a split coming from Zero Hacks, defaulting around the map. They've got presence much everywhere and don't see too much aggression coming out of the CTs. They do like to poke and project towards this middle area and delay this mid take so that they can adjust and adapt late into the round. But so far, no casualties just yet. And this is one of the rounds where I have to say that, I think on every other round we've had a frag by this point. So perhaps Zero Hacks calling to take it slower to try and punish that aggression. And must agree with that call. And are they able to punish the mistake? They are not. Orpa gets away scot-free, and that's an opportunity that they were looking for. And in response, excessive he gets a bit curious and does quite a bit of damage towards the player on apps and gets the player ramp. So again, Terra Esports at the man advantage, and despite the patience coming out of Zero Hacks, they find themselves a man down and soon needing to gather up, collect themselves, and reach the site together. Something they haven't been able to do yet this game. And now the time is now. Big Dog gets a huge kill. His teammates dies towards that app, so it's an AWP player. And now Big Dog moving in to the danger area, trying to pick off the sword, but can he do it? They do no players towards Vents. Oh, he gets the AWP as well, finds the position of the third, so pretty much an even situation. They can capitalize on a frag, but they can't. Spazza wins the duel, and again, it's up to the Hacktivists now, 3 versus 1, and I mean, he is in quite an advantageous position. He's caught somewhere between city spawn, and for a moment or two now, will be behind a couple of the CTs, but can he do something with it?
Good flank, Activist. Trying to make this round competitive, but the bomb's all the way in T-spawn, 4 seconds left on the round, and unfortunately, there's not much you can do from this point onwards. So from Zero Hacks, the right idea just can't capitalize on all the opportunities that were given to them. You saw missing out on frag and on window. I think Big Dog tried to recover, picked up the player. I think it was about Benji. Window just couldn't capitalize and get more frags off that. So mid-round has become the new concern. They've avoided dying quite early, so just mid-round they need to just tighten up and make sure the trades are even, your lurks aren't dying, to be able to just collapse upon the A or B side with the split. So just a bit of an investment from Zero Hacks, some great pistols. Activist does have the AWP, so he's the player that needs to make a difference for Zero Hacks. We're going to see how it plays out. Got a flash if he really wants to pop it open for the players and breaching points. So pretty chilling by B. Very shortly he's going to get flanked by lowers, unexpected, and no one's supporting him there. And the point is you can't recycle that off. No one's around here, and they're all gathered around this A entrance here. And there we go, Fate steps up tall, picks up a nice deagle headshot into Benji, doubles up on the second, and finally the sleeping giant is awoken. 3 versus 4. They have the advantage. In fact, they're doubling down and creating more.
Yeah, what a surprising round for them to do well here. Just a double kick out of apartments, double kill there out of apartments, should I say. And now Terra Esports pretty much in the worst position they've been in so far in this game, and certainly in a position to go for it as well and pressure the economy of this T side. But again, it's not all said and done. They still need to collect the bomb, and one of them is holding it, and now they seem to be wrapping around. And there we go. This is a disaster. Tools. Old New gets the first player, does a bit of damage onto the second, and he sneaks out. Surely, Flash comes through, and no, that is that. Zero Hacks take the first round. Nice one. I'm glad to see it. And that was a beautiful display of just individual aim, really.
Yeah, Fate. The difference maker, something that they've needed, the player needed to step up, someone in that roster to finally It's fit with the lovely 2K to open up that A site, and that's the game of Counter-Strike. It just takes a moment of brilliance to change the entire game, but the difference is they need to capitalize and compound in the second round to just string a few more together, make it more competitive. They've lost their half, but I think 6 rounds on the T side, nothing to laugh at. And it's a CT sided map, so there's opportunity. Woo! And there we go, Activists. A lovely flick headshot there, kind of expected. Usually you see the players jumping for information on the defending side, but Spaz is jumping a little bit too high, Activist a bit too quick. Bit of a labored duel coming out in the middle. No one finding the frag just yet, both players. I think Aloku came off the wrong end of that stick. Activist looking to poke and push towards the middle. Here's support top middle for an AWP and Fate. Gonna swing wide, get the trade. Damage already been dealt, so it's a bit easy for him. One of the lurkers has been taken out towards the middle. So Aluk, he's on low HP, so don't mind him taking his time, letting the majority of the attack swift through, and Benji goes down. That's the advantage. There we go. A breath of fresh air for Zero Hacks. Old news. You're gonna be missing those. Really gotta be doing your due diligence when you have the man advantage. That's the gap, the blind spot being taken care of. Both players rotating. Oh, actually, no. He's being flanked. Does he smell the lurk? He has been tapped, so he's preoccupied, so this could go bad. Oh my goodness, if Old New flipped towards spawn at that point in time, there's a player lurking there, and they have an idea. They smell a rat. They can't take him out just yet, Jaded. He should win this round. There's enough time. He has a clip, and that's 10 rounds on the board. These rounds are getting closer, perhaps, and he's getting the bomb down. I can reinvest into the next.
Yeah, absolutely. It was really close, came out to the wire there, but beautiful touch from Terra Esports. Nice retake, a lot of bombs there happening in between to kind of make that happen, but don't feel bad if you Zero Hacks. It looked like a convincing round for them. It looked like one of the better rounds they've had this half, but again, just not able to close it, not able to win up that clutch, and we just find ourselves in a position where Terra Esports 10-1 up. Oh, wow. Garrett now he's pushed through, looking for the shot, and he gets it as well. That is a disgusting shot. Beautiful little strafe there, using his movement on the map to get out, but so far no supports really coming in yet, and CTs are allowed to settle back into some sort of comfort here. They seem a bit concerned with that ramp area.
Yeah, Old New creating some space with the utility. Perhaps picking up a free kill there. The A1 who's going to work in those situations. They don't know what they're getting shot from, but Old New flipping a lot, and eventually Garrett takes him up through the smoke with an AWP, but simultaneously Spazza gets a free duel towards us at B site, and that's going to be the advantage. In fact, no. It's Big Dog to capitalize and give them the advantage from middle. Spazza has a duel on his hands. Activist, in fact, it isn't. There we go, second one on the board, and yeah, they're slowly creeping back. They're slowly waking up a little. But is it too late?
Oh, well, now they'll finally be able to put some pressure onto the economy, so this should actually get them a free round share for the first time. A bit of pressure being put on the CT side. First time they've been forced to kind of think about their financial position. You see they've just elected to buy absolutely nothing but a couple of grenades and maintaining those USPs. They are sticking together. I do like this. And this is a triple nade towards ramp. Someone's dead. So close. He manages to get out. That was so tight. Flash comes in, but it's a little bit late. They all five are storming this area. They're trying to retreat, not enough. He gets chased down and killed, and now they do spot another player towards the labs area. Now they are going to challenge him from multiple areas, but it is a little bit disjointed. Too many players going one by one, and it is Garrett that is just showing his worth here. But easy kills, good for the confidence, good for the numbers. Of the stat sheet, you see the final play, full CTs on towards the labs area. And another one on the board here for Zero Hacks.
Yeah, deciding to throw away the pistols left over. Good round, even goes positive off the eco. Gotta love them ecos, man. Right, what's the money looking like on the side of Terra Esports? Just 4K and multiple players, 5K and excessive, so I think they want to just go for a proper buy, so half invest into this round. Some body armor, some nades, some upgraded pistols. Still pose a bit of a threat, so Zero Hacks can't take the pedal off the metal just yet. This is an important round. Is this it's a really nice grenade, and Garrett, he caught that in the bread basket. Only player to defend the C site while the rest of them wrap towards T-spawn. In fact, the B players didn't hear any of that. It's going to be a massive, massive surprise for Garrett. He's going to be so shook. That's going to be the call fate coming in from Palace. So he needs to just not die, stay alive as long as he can. Maybe pick up some kills, but no, he's going to create the advantage for Terra. In my opinion, let's just go for this. Yeah, let's just still go for this, I think. They got money to buy in the next round. Make this competitive, do a bit of economical damage. Looking at the side of Zero Hacks, it'll be a tough round next round if they lose a lot of their players individually. Isn't the core. It's not the play. I think they want to save the AKs rather, but you know, I don't get that. It's gonna be like the last 2 rounds left in the
last round.
It's gonna be 4, so 1 round left. So why not? Yeah, next round's gonna be the last round, so why not? Why not go for this? You're gonna have money anyway. In hindsight,
with you.
2020. But it is what it is. 10-4, 1 round left for the half. Terra started off real hot, but they're cooling off a little. Zero Esports to be stringing rounds together. 5 rounds isn't bad on the T side. I think that's what they should be saying to themselves.
Absolutely, and that's good enough. I mean, considering they were like 9-0 down or 8-0 down, I think this is definitely something that they'd be happy with, as long as they can convert this 5th round just for the confidence, and then maybe take the pistol. They're back in this game, absolutely. So if you're Terra Esports, you can't help but think, damn, threw a little bit of a lead away here, but that said, oh, first frag, quick, little zip you off there. Getting that opening duel for Zero Hacks.
Quick entry frag. That's been the real difference, right? Lately, it's been Zero Hacks to be opening up the scoreboard and playing from in front rather than behind. It's always tough on the T side, being a man down and starting off the first 10 seconds with a disadvantage, but they have mid control quite comfortably. Player looking up at apps, and oh my goodness! Aluku doing most of the damage. That's all around the map. We've been finding some kills towards the middle cap. Now it's towards the B side. Spaz in a good off angle here. I think if he finds this kill while the bomber rotates in, it could be a juicy double for them. You know, Spazza gonna rotate out. Is he really gonna do that? Insta rotate? Have to be aware of the second player no matter what, but a look from Gareth through window seals that deal, and it's excessive coming from the A side, rolling in hot and heavy. 1 versus 3, last round on the ball, so he kind of has to go for this. He has no choice. He does have a choice, but smart choice would be going for this. Murder hole. It's called out for a reason, so he's gonna probably go towards lowers or go through in any case. Solid start for Maluka in this round. So opening AWP kills, got to be happy about that if you're that individual. And just a leg, excessive. Just a matter of time now, and that's a Kobe to finish it off. 10-5, the half Terra Esports. Good start. Cooled off towards the end. Zero Hacks started to pick it up. You can see 4 rounds strung together. So, yeah, there's some light at the end of the tunnel for Zero Hacks. Let's see what they have on the CT side.
Yeah, I mean, absolutely, and they definitely closed that off a lot better than they started. They got some momentum there towards the end. Certainly something they're going to be able to feel better about, considering how the half is going. And I think if you're Terra Esports, you've got to be thinking, flip, let's, you know, could have had a tighter grip on this. But again, it's going to come down to what's all important this round. Both teams still in at this point. This is the perfect split, 66 to 33%, like respectively of the rounds won. I think it's the favored CT side. It's obviously pretty much stock standard stuff, and you do see a stock standard execute coming onto this A side here.
Looks pretty good. I mean, Activist is isolated, but Garrett takes the head off Jaded before the smokes fade, and that's the second on the board. It's Activist still in the end, there's A site, and he goes down to 3. In fact, he does collect when an old is trying to reel it back. He picks up 2 frags, and it's still at a man disadvantage. I think they did spot on him the smoke. As soon as it fades, he's going to be in some real trouble. Tries to get CT spawns, not going to help it. Benji all alone, 1 versus 3. Low players, but too many man on the field, and that's going to be the pistol picked up by Zero Hacks, and that's the start that you want to bring it back.
Absolutely. Now they can just get themselves to a solid city start, just like Terra Esports had, and slowly then they look to be in a good position. I mean, to be chasing on the CT side, it's never a bad thing, and every single round that you win together, it's just kind of eases that pressure and kind of just puts more on your opponent, really, because they have to find or figure out the plans there. And this is the debate, right, about whether you want to start CT or T side, but I mean, this round's a bit of a fluff round here. You see numbers are moving towards that next area. They are able to get them, maybe didn't think there, but there's no real commitment. Not going to be able to capitalize much more after that. Rotation comes in the form of Fate, quickly dismissing this, but
And just like that,
you see,
you start to pull it back. You're 3 rounds apart from Terra Esports, so you should be thinking, all right, we got the strongest side. We should just try string a few more together. If they start holding on to these guns that they have, shotgun, 2 MP9s, they have the weaker buy. It's kind of a gamble. You want to create that economical advantage moving into the next round, Zero Hacks. But that's if you win it. Kind of playing against the grain over here. They're going to have some aggression through the middle. I mean, even if Garrett got the fight he wanted there in the middle, it's versus an AK, so he's going to have to be a bit more cautious. Try it, reel them in a bit closer to get those engagements in your favor, and it's jaded. Pick up a headshot for his big shot towards short, and it's fight in the middle. He should be calling in for a flashbang to swing middle just to get that information. Looks like they are going to be eking towards B. They have a lurker on A ramp, excessive. He's going to be pushing up to find information and retain attention, while the majority of the plot moving towards Cat's old new picks up the second of the round, opening the B side completely. And yeah, they're in control for the entire round.
absolutely. I mean, they've just entry fragged their way across the whole map, and they've just absolutely decimated the defenses of Zero Hacks. And what a round to do it at. I mean, you look at the economy of the CT side, despite winning those 2 rounds, they weren't convincing tools, and they haven't got much in the bank, and they are forcing behind this. So they are able to get an AWP over, and they will be able to like put a string together bits and bobs here and there. But ultimately, this is a very weakened buy, and this is the scary side about kind of chasing on the CT side. If you make a bad economical decision on one of these rounds, that can pretty much spell the rest of your game, and ultimately it remains to be seen. And oh, we see a headshot come out of Terra. That is insane. I enunciate that G there because damn.
Playing with fire though. Playing with fire towards window. Benji, Spaz, all of the players sitting there in lows, and these the A1, I think you can be liberal with the stand. Can't really see the bullet traces, but Garrett can't miss that shot, and he causes both teams to die. And Benji spinning around, collecting multi-kills, traded out eventually by Fate. It is a little to no HP to work with, so I'm interested to see how he navigates himself through this mess. No,
He's so sure that he's towards the yeah. Now, oh, it's a beautiful little step there from Excessive. He takes control of the situation, covers the planter. I was pulling my hair there out, tools. I just thought that the CT had a perfect timing to get back into that round and quickly kill the player, kill the planter. Easy round, but no, Esports take the 12th and 12 to 7 now. And again, I was talking about the precarious financial position that you would be in if you are Zero Hacks, and they find themselves there right now with not many rounds to work with here, tools.
Yeah, there's times to reinvest, there's times not to reinvest, and it should be an eco on no armor to play with just pistols and nades, upgraded pistols. But yeah, I think Zero Hacks trying to cheat the economy a little by saving onto those weapons after the second round. Shotguns with no utility, always a real gamble, and they're paying for it right now. And usually you'd have a plan or some strats or ideas if you're gonna go for some sort of a buy like that, pushing lows or something. But they went for a normal default CT setup with the weapons that they had, and as you can see, it's never gonna work out. So they're paying for it now. The next round's gonna be quite competitive, or at least they need it to be for them to stay in it.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. They're still going to be in a tough position. They're still going to have a very tight buy. Right now, the T's are just building an economy. None of the players actually die, so they are in a great position. They're very happy with where they are right now. Terra Esports taking a convincing stance in this game. No surprise, the start of the last half was just the same. And it took Zero Hacks a bit of time to warm up. Perhaps with something that they're still going to bestow upon us here. Fate is the final player that needs to purchase here. And this is a full rifle setup. You do see that AWP up on Benji. Walk-in response from Terra Sports, but ultimately they are heading towards B. I like this. This is a completely change of pace, really, and setting up for that B execute. Only one player there for now, too.
Yeah, the longer they take, the less their chances become. They're going to be eventually using the smokes, the flashes get deployed, and it's called Big Dog's isolated in the site, and he needs to go big if they are to stand a chance. He gets traded out immediately, and as well as the rotations getting locked up. So, oh man, just the wrong gamble on this round from Zero Hacks. They have to fight their way through these choke points, and I don't think it's going to work out. Yeah, I see the call. Maybe it's to save. They even got a lurker sitting in middle. Yeah, they should save and they have a full buy the next round. If they go down, it's going to be Terra bad Georgia.
Yeah, no chance.
They're still going for the fight, surprisingly enough.
Yeah, that looks
It's
like
one way to throw.
Just unfortunately got lucky. Jeff, if you Zero Hack shot, you have to take all 3 of these rifles into the next round. They really don't have much economy at all, so between these players, that's 5 they're going to need to drop. Oh goodness, it's a disaster, is it? No, it is. Losing that gun is bad news. Thing is, the T's can afford to lose these guns. Yeah, they've got so much money in the bank, but CT's not as much. This literally puts them in a much tougher position had 3 people survived.
Yeah, and the problem is they didn't really try escape per se. They were going for exit kills. When you go for exit kills, there's opportunity to go down, and as you can see, they financially stretched at the moment. MP9s once again, bits and bobs of utility, not really the full set. So yeah, they're fighting an uphill battle at the moment. Jaded picks up the first kill, then Garrett in the middle. There's a lurker sitting in the smoke, using the pedal back towards lowers. But at the same time, I mean, he's be met by 2 players sitting in upper B. If he's that loud, and that nade does suggest they know about him. See Spazza pedaling back to clear out the rat sitting nearby. That's easy execution from him, and that's a man advantage for Terra Esports. Make that a 2-man advantage. You'll only be sitting in such a spot, activist, if you're not going to be proactively jiggle peeking that A ramp as you're in isolation. And as I say that, the mountain, it gets steeper for Zero Hacks. Aluku, all alone, wondering where his teammates are, what happened. And is this round winnable? You have no choice but to go for this round looking at the scoreboard, so we're going to need to see some heroics coming out of him. Too easy for Benji. Too easy. 15 rounds on the board. Match point.
Yeah, match points, and we do see this is a very tough position for Zero Hacks to be in. They are able to get out a couple of rifles. They're able to get that AWP up as well. But now it's 8 in a row that you need. No mistakes. Flawless game from this point out. And we saw a bit of a flawless end towards the last half. Perhaps we can see something the same here. But is 8 rounds in a row too much to ask? Which remains to be seen. We see Terra Esports opening up with their mid control. Do spot a player towards that window area who needs to kind of get out of charge now, and it's kind of tough for him to do so. They do molly him out, but he's going to have to empty that smoke, and that's already quite a bit of util from the CTs baited, and they'll just emptying out nades to loads of chip damage, and it's again a good start for the trade game for Terra Esports here.
Oh, that smoke, top gun smoke faded at the right time. Maluku, he does his job, confirms 2 more players are coming up. Connector gets his kill. So Zero Hack should be rotating off that. They've smoked off cap, so it's going to be an isolated attack towards his A site, and there we go. One by one, they start to fall, and the pieces need to come back together. Spazza! Oh man, really breaking the hearts of Zero Hacks right now. 2 men remaining alive. Last round potentially for Zero Hacks, and that's the second on the board for Sparrow. This round is down to get coming in from CT Sport. 1 versus 4. We're gonna need some miracles, but no miracles today for Zero Hacks. It's 16-7. Terra Esports picked up quite a convincing win, especially considering how the first half started off. I think 10 rounds probably straight, and then only then started climbing back Zero Hacks. So really playing from behind and going against the grain, and looking how things transpired. Terra Hacks, maybe, in hindsight, they could have closed that out a bit sooner if they wanted to. But yeah, it happens. It is what it is. But what do you think of that performance, Golsey?
Yeah, very convincing from Terra Esports. It felt like they were the better team pretty much from the beginning. It was just a matter of time until they were going to close it out. Looked like some solid CS coming out of them. Zero Hacks, unfortunately, just not bringing up or not standing up to the level required to beat a team that just looked better on the day at the end of the day. And yeah, I mean, that's all from me for now.
Look, Garrick had a good performance of the AWP. He did, was a thorn in the side for a bit from Terra Esports, but eventually at the end it wasn't good enough. But we're gonna throw it over to the desk so they can break it down a bit further.
Thank you so much, Golden Lighter. Unfortunately, Zero Hacks are wildcard winners from South Africa. They weren't able to step it up and take the win against Terra Esports. And we're going to get in depth into that. But before we do, let me remind you guys one more about the $50 that is up for grabs to be added to your Steam wallet. All you have to do is go on gaming.lenovo.com. You can either post a clip from the broadcast or you can go and vote for your favorite team. And while you're there, make sure you browse around for some other offers. All right, analysts, what do we think about this game? Give me your general idea, your first impressions.
Not really much to say since it was kind of one-sided. Terra Esports were handling it really well. A little bit of minor mistakes, yet they could be costly. Let's talk about the 19th round per se. 19th round, we saw actually by Zero Hacks, they left a lot of close open blind spots. Terra Sports really handled it well, like going middle together, try to actually get 2 kills and then entering the site. We saw a member of Terra actually picking off Azler, picking off 2 players from A. Blind spots here and there. Now, Terra Esports really surprised me by CT side. Now, they had a close lead of 8-0, really big gap. Just one thing I didn't want to see was actually the connector player. The connector player is a really important player in the whole map. In the whole map, actually, the connector player is the actual turn point of everything in mid. So if he dies, it could be a really big problem. So I've seen like a little bit of repeaking, even when the smoke fades in con, he kind of dies. Okay, let's talk about they got the round, yes, but these kind of mistakes shouldn't happen. Advising them further when they proceed after they won. If it's gonna be in the playoff, I think they should really make it a little bit more finer in their gameplay, because these minor mistakes can actually cost them huge failures in the future.
All right, do you have any other comments to say, Hope, about the
I
team?
mean, I honestly like Terra's T side more than CT because we've seen a more of a group play than individual plays. CT side, they were winning 8-0. Then we saw a timeout coming from Zero Hacks. After this timeout, I think they called for each other's motivation. They read the game somehow better than they did in CT. Because CT side, we've seen a lot of big mistakes from Zero Hacks that shouldn't happen, that could have turned the tables and make them win the game. In general, we've seen mid control. We've seen connector, a lot of connector plays, a lot of repeats, as Sammy said. We've seen a lot of individual plays in this game more than teamwork. Good utilities usage from Terror. Zero Hacks was lacking a bit of utility usage. Good chemistry, missed communication a lot in Zero Hacks, especially in T side. They have a lot to work on. They shouldn't give up. It should be an example of their next game coming. But yeah, it was a good game, but hard luck and GG.
Well, that you mentioned earlier that you said they had a break. Zero Hacks called for a break, and then suddenly it was 8-0, not in their favor. And then suddenly they started winning round after round after round. They were getting momentum. What do you think exactly was being said during the break to each other? What did they change specific tactics? How did they manage to get so many rounds in a row?
I mean, as I said, they either motivated each other that, like, guys, it's our second chance. We never get this before. We have to focus. We have to play our game. The 5 rounds they got in T-side after the timeout, because honestly, I was thinking it's going to be 14-1, 13-2. Like, this is how it's going to end. 10-5 for a T-side, it's not bad. You can actually go back to CT and get back into the game and do an amazing comeback. The leader, I think, gave good cause to play more of individual and confident play as if they're playing pug, because that's what we saw, more of a teamwork. So maybe they were focusing more on themselves than playing in teamwork. So everyone was doing his own job, whether they go mid or B, because we didn't see, for example, 2 going mid, flashing for cone, going, no, they're just peeking through smoke. One guy is going B, trying to kill, a guy entering in cave smoke. They did a lot of mistakes, honestly, but at the same time, I think, yeah, it's the timeout that got them back into the game.
All right. Well, there's something that you guys mentioned that was 99% essential in this matchup. And in terms of opping, do you think that either team brought you to your expectations, or do you think they were both lacking in that sense?
I don't think we've seen any off plays. Like the whole game, we didn't see any off plays except a couple of runs from the
Couple of
T side that weren't that effective, didn't have that impact. More, as I said, individual plays, playing solo with a rifle, trying to enter and win aim duels.
Go ahead.
And to add to that note,
Please do.
as Adam said, yes, we haven't seen a couple of rounds. However, the utility usage by Terra on mid was really not evident in this match as CT side. So basically, an Opper when he wants to go mid for a aggressive peak or a peak, he should actually ask, or no need to ask. His mates have to flash actually mid. I haven't seen that. Like maybe a round or two. That's it. Regarding the comeback that was made by what was the name?
Zero
Zero
hacks.
hacks.
Zero Hacks. Sorry. Now, when they took a timeout, basically, when you're the winning team, you're winning 8 rounds, and your momentum is high. Then you get a pause, and then your brain like resets and cools down. That shouldn't happen. You shouldn't just like take it easy. Oh, we're winning 8-0. No, you should focus every round, even after the pause. Try to actually be as hyped as you were before the pause when you were winning snowballed 8 rounds. So my advice, I'm not here to actually downgrade them or anything. I think they were both fantastic. Maybe Zero Hawks not on their day again, but for Terra, I think they should actually work on their minor mistakes because these actually cost a lot. They should tune up or make it a little more finer in their gameplay.
All right. Well, sadly, Zero Hacks, our wildcard winners from South Africa, were not able to prove that they could win against Terra Esports. But perhaps our next game, our next wildcard team, Regicide Gaming, will be able to take the win in our next match. But before that, we're going to take a very short break. So make sure you guys stay tuned, and we will be back very shortly.
For this love ain't kryptonite. And if you keep me close, a minute in this hourglass, you hold. Oh, 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 and when I fall too deep, we be right when I hit to save me. A superhero in your sleep. A superhero in your sleep. Oh, oh, and when I fall too deep, we be right when I hit to save me.
Can you feel it wrapped around your soul with no control? Can you feel it wrapped around your soul with no control? You can't breathe when you're drowning underwater. There's so much water. I can't pretend that I have a strong defense. There's darkness on your face.
Welcome back to the Legion Africa Cup, brought to you by Legion by Lenovo. We're about to start our second game of the day, but before we do, let me remind you guys one more time about the $50 that is up for grabs to be added to your Steam wallet. All you have to do is go to gaming.lenovo.com. You can either post a clip from the broadcast, or you can go and vote for your favorite team. And once you're there, why not check out for some other offers as well? So we have our next game, another wildcard team, Regicide Gaming. I know that
Let's
we are
not jinx
familiar.
it.
We're not jinxing. We're
It's all
not.
the white
We're
cards.
not
This,
judging.
in this region that came back, they lost.
Well, ATK was also from South Africa and
Yeah,
they
but-
won, correct?
Yeah, it was in the past. What was
It was in the South African
Yeah.
qualifiers.
It was in the South, South Africa.
Excuse me. Yes, that is true. But I mean, we could have the first of, the first of the three
I hope
that could
so.
win.
I mean,
Regicide
hope so.
Gaming. So
No,
tell
we
me
had
about
a
it.
team that won 80K.
80K. Yeah,
ATK
I mean,
won
in this
in-
region.
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay,
that's
in this
In
region.
this region, we didn't have any.
That's true. Well, maybe Kenya and Nigeria are just too good to be beaten.
Maybe.
That's how
you
it
are
is.
right.
So, what would you think? Do you think that Regicide Gaming is going to follow in ATK's footsteps and get the win the second time round, or do you think they're going to be like X Gaming and Zero Hacks, who just didn't quite get it?
Honestly, I think they have a higher chance to win because they gave us a good match the last time they played. They're gonna come back. I think this is a team that's gonna come back confident that they wanna win. They're gonna really try hard. They probably learn from their mistakes. We're not gonna see the same mistakes unless they didn't learn from their own mistakes. But hopefully they were dead, because I know for a fact that they can play good CS.
I disagree with you. Ask me why.
Okay, I will ask you why. Let me just take a recap for today's games and then I'll get right back at you. So let's just do a quick recap of the games that we had today. So our first game was Zero Hacks versus Terra Esports. We just witnessed that game before the break. Zero Hacks, our wildcard winners from South Africa, unfortunately could not get that win the comeback, and Terra Esports were the ones who got the win in Mirage, and we could possibly have another map of Mirage. It's a very popular map in our tournament, or it could be Hope's favorite map. It could be Inferno. But let me get back to your question, Sammy. Why is that? Why
I
do
just
you think?
had the feeling to say it.
That's
felt
the
it.
answer you made me wait for.
I can't disagree an angel. I can't disagree him. I can't.
Oh.
He's my brother. I can't disagree him.
Well, you have to give me something. I was expecting some drama,
You want me to
some
give
heat.
you something? Okay.
me
Let's
something.
talk about Regicide.
Okay.
Regicide is a really good team. I told you about it. They played against ATK Gaming. They lost. However, what interested me was to actually see that comeback. Today, not only I want to see a comeback, I don't want to see a comeback. I want to see them actually just winning, destroying, whatever, 16-5 or 16-14. I want to see that W on Regicide Gaming history, because they actually really tried to do some nice counters, tried to do some nice rushes in Inferno against ATK. So that's what actually is making me want them to win. And also, not only that, they can prove to be actually an actual contender in the series, in the playoff as well. I'm hoping to see them in the top 8.
Well, hopefully Regicide can get the win for us as the wildcard winners, the first wildcard winners for Kenya and Nigeria. And let's see the possible prize pool that they could be going home with. But we have, once again, $12,000 for that first place prize. And our second place prize is $5,000, followed by third place with $3,000. Now, I know that you guys are going to say Nabi's going to get that first place win. Definitely. Right? Do we have any thoughts for second and third so far? Since we only have one more game. One more
Nabi
game
is
to
not
know.
guaranteed. Nabi is not guaranteed to get the win, because there
Okay.
is actually really good teams. But we're talking about what we've seen from the qualifiers. Like Nabi gave us a really good CS game, and we really all enjoyed it. And we enjoyed, although it was a big, huge difference, but we enjoyed the fact that they played every round as a final round.
All right, that's really good. And let me tell you about the map that I just got informed about. It is what I mentioned earlier, that we have a repetition of maps. It is, of course, Mirage that we are seeing once more in Regicide Gaming versus King Guards. Do you think this is a good map for a wild card team? I mean, it didn't work out so well for Zero Hacks. Is it gonna work out well for Regicide Gaming?
Definitely, it could work out. It's a known map. Everyone knows how to play it. Almost everyone. Uh, Regicide has a good team chemistry between each other. I don't see them losing this map, to be honest. With all due respect to King Guards, I don't see them losing this.
Well, as we know, Regicide Gaming played against ATK,
Very good.
and they were obviously a very good team, and both teams showed a lot of skills, a lot of sportsmanship, and it was a super close game, if I recall correctly. So perhaps this game would also be going in favor of Regicide since they have the experience, and we see that they have the aim, they have the knowledge to win. Do you think there's any chance for our new team, King Guards, here?
Honestly, they might be good. I don't know anything about them, but all I do know is Regicide really has this. It's really hard to actually beat such a team who actually, first of all, they almost gave a hard time to ATK Gaming. And ATK Academy, they had some veterans in the CSGO scene from a long time they've been playing. So seeing that kind of vibe from Regicide gives me hopes that actually they are gonna win this, maybe 16-5, 16-7. It will depend. Maybe if they throw some rounds, they will make it 16-5.
Some mercy rounds.
I mean, let's not put our hopes too high, not to underestimate King Guards, because we've seen a lot of surprises this tournament.
Yeah.
So
Definitely.
we never know what they're gonna give us. So they might be the ones showing us a good Nabi game or a good CS
We
team
would
game.
love to see that.
Yeah,
wouldn't we?
exactly. So speaking about Regicide, since we saw them play the first time, they had like minor mistakes. Yes, they are a good team, but let's not underestimate King Guards as well, because they might have something that we haven't seen before in this tournament.
Yep.
All right. So King Guards has won the knife round, and they have chosen CT side. Is that a good choice for them?
For a team who doesn't know who they're playing against, I think.
Well, I think they would know who they're playing against. Regicide Gaming, they've witnessed them play against ATK, so they've probably done their homework and they know their strategies. So
King Guards won the knife round.
yes,
Oh, okay, I'm sorry.
King
That's my
Guards,
mistake.
King Guards
Yeah,
won
yeah,
the
okay,
knife
excuse
round,
me,
and they
excuse me
chose
for that. Yeah, yeah,
CT.
okay.
So do you think that they chose that side based on the game that they watched from Regicide
They
Gaming
watched
before, or do you
Inferno.
think they are?
Yeah, Inferno. You
They
can't
watched
really
Inferno, yeah.
get a lot. You can get a general idea of how the team plays, yes, but you cannot know what they're gonna do in Mirage because they haven't seen a match of Regicide in Mirage. So if they watch their demo in Inferno, then they can have a slight general idea of what they're gonna do, not as in plan wise, as in how are they playing? Are they doing a lot of rushes here and there? Are they actually playing more default based, more like contact pushing some at one place? So you can get a general idea. That's it. You cannot get to know how they play on Mirage.
Well, seeing that King Guards may have the advantage of seeing Regicide Gaming how they play, what their strategy is, but Regicide Gaming themselves, they have the experience. They have been in this tournament before. So it's tight. It could be anyone's game. And the match is indeed ready. So we're going to pass it on over to Coles and Lighter. Take it away, guys.
Welcome back to the Legion African Cup. This is week 2, day 3, the last game of the qualifying stage before we move into the playoff. But brought you, it's myself and Goals to take through this game. Goals, we saw Regicide Gaming in the previous matchup against ATK Academy. Closer game than we expected. So, you putting the money on them?
I am. I have to. I mean, that looked like some skilled CS. Like we spoke about ATK Academy, that's a serious team. That was, one of the newly formed rosters with some of the best players that have actually been, from South Africa. So ultimately, very interesting to see they were able to make that match close. But it all comes down to what kind of roster we're looking at that's going up against them. But at the end of the day, I am gonna be leading towards Regicide. I thought we saw some good methodical CS. I think a lot more than we expected to see. And I'm just looking forward to the match ahead of us. But I have to lean towards Regicide, and I think break that curse of a team that fell down early, that gets back up, gets back into the swing of things. But it seems like we're going to be jumping to our game shorter tools, and I guess we're going to find out. And where are you leaning towards?
Yeah. I'm going to Registart Gaming all the way. They surprised me in the previous matchup versus 80k Gaming, but this is a different map. That was map was Inferno, but today we're going to be on Mirage. King Guards have picked the CT side, so they get that advantage. It is the best of one, so bet that at the back of your heads while the game unfolds. It's important to pick up those pistol rounds. It's important to control mid as the CTs get those offs up nice and early. So if they start getting all of those up and sorted out and start stringing some rounds together, things could be different. But I'm going to kick off with the pistol round. 2 smokes, 4 flashes on the side of Regicide. Does look like they're going to be smoking in the top con. Maybe the line smokes across stairs. There's what Palace Burst does come up. There's 2 defenders, so the setup looks okay. See the flashes and smokes get deployed. Calyx, is he up for the task? He needs to be landing some shots as they flurry down from apps. He picks up 1 blind as ever was a support flashbang. In fact, Roger cleans him out and deletes us and hang around stairs. City spawns about to get pressured. Marafiki, only player left alive here. He's used his only flash and he's the only one left just so you can't go down too early or the punk on the retake. A nice stop CT setup coming out from Regicide Gaming. The trade is almost there. Ownage 1 versus 3. I mean, if you had money, if you're a betting man, the odds are not in his favor, but he's making it work. He's skewed the odds towards his favor just a little bit. And Chile, I don't see them losing this. And there we go. The pistol round comes up from Regicide Gaming. Strong start, good execution, and the trade's going in their favor. So they're gonna be happy about the pistol and looking to compound the second.
Yeah, it was agreed. Like I also really enjoyed that they had multiple layers. I mean, you speak about layers a lot, and they're just able to get that first breach up, push the players back with their util. They've got the necessary smokes in place that have already been thrown, and they got the secondary follow-up pop flash from CT. It's an object. They get onto the site, they get into their CT spawn, and they hold it. And it's just lovely to see them with a multi-layered attack. Now jumping into this round, of course, you see a force coming out of the CTs as well, so not a free round as you would expect. After such pistol, Revere getting. Oh, he recovered. He recovers. That was about to run him off there. Look at that again. Blades in response now. Peeks out towards this A side. Gets nice close range as well as a long range duel with this Mac 10. Now choosing to go out with the Glock, and he's able to get rid of it. But in the meanwhile, 2 players have gone down. 2 clacks. He's now looking onto the bomb side. Can recover this 4. He's seeing the spot to play towards lower. That's his job done. Now gets tagged now. 2 HP and Blades has got his number. He's seeing that shoulder peek and he catches him and close call there. But again, King Guards fully purchased up into this round, fully invested, and now they're going to be forced to save. Came down to the wire though, puts a little bit of pressure on the T economy, but at the end of the day, goes as planned. Regicide Gaming take that conversion and put 2 on the board to that of the 0 from King Guards.
An expensive conversion. King Guards almost, but no cigar. I think few upgraded pistols, and it's a good inkling into the next couple of ecos that they potentially could have. They are dangerous, so Regicide Gaming maybe need to just tighten up a little. They're going to go back to what worked for them previously. Mid control. And as you can see, King's Guard trying to be as proactive as they can on the defending side to just try find an open up. Those deep headshots can really change the game instantaneously. Oof. He caught up there, he caught in the bread basket, and it's reversed from the A side and potentially could pick up a double. Oh no, Roger, did he get a double? No, it's actually was the player flanking through Palace who picked it up, and that's Marafiki once again all alone. Yeah, that's the 3rd round on the board. So a convincing start from Regicide Gaming and what we kind of expected. So it's down to King's Guard to really come out alive in the next gun round.
Absolutely, and what a convincing start it has been from Regicide. They've quite convincing in their approach, and especially on this round, obviously not up against much, but in this next round we should expect to see some more resistance coming out of the CTs of King Guard, but remains to be seen. This is a bit of a beautiful spot to be in. Look, I think 1v5 is a bit much to ask for, but right now he's only got to worry about 3. He gets the first, not able to get the second. That little jiggle peek there, just catching Farki. That's a tough name to go with, but just gonna call him Mark now. That's for sure.
Yeah, we're gonna go to Marky. Marky Farki. It's Marky Farki. Call him Marafiki or something like that. But it's the gun round, and yeah, Regicide gonna buy up 2 Mac 10s, 3 AKs, all the utility in the world. So we're gonna see what pace they can play with. Really looking for that money bonus, saving. those two Mac 10s, and it's going to be a straight B. Breeze utility has landed, so a bit of pressure for Marky and Ownage. They've got some crossfires going on, and it's working so far. Each one of them picking up the kill of their own and rotating around the site Marky quite nicely. And big, strong defense, good hold coming out of the B players. And it's just been a with the Mac 10, so any moment now it should be going down. 4 players remaining alive. We'll be happy about that.
Yeah, clean and methodical play up until that round coming from Regicide Gaming. Just weird that they chose to just exact B. This was the first proper gun round that the CGs were having. Perhaps just a change of pace that came a little bit too early on, and it was just really stock standard stuff coming out of King Guards there, just holding that B bomb site, tucking into crossfires after spanning all that util and ultimately make it look easy. And now the pressure on the economies on the side of Regicide, beside, despite being 3-0 up, but now they choose to go towards that middle area. Pretty much saving throughout this, but we do see pretty much one player on each side, and the rest are pertaining towards that middle, and King Guard's kind of not really looking to do anything aggressive, anything too sudden. Oh my goodness, Roger, dirty shot, my friend. But good response there from Ownage. His position is known now. They should know that there's a pretty even split towards this B side now. That should, in my opinion, force the IGL from the T side to, hey, get together, hit a site, and let's make this happen. But again, just a reminder, I think, oh wait, Chili Woody does in fact have the bomb. Or was it stuck with my window?
Yeah, he does.
They've got it. Yeah.
Alright, so looking to really split this A side. But the positions are quite as strong from King Guard, a player on the Palace and a player in CT. Got a crossfire going. It's going to take a real big blunder for them to lose this out reverse. He's got an angle, and he picks up the first call from the lurker coming from Connector, looking to trade it out. And yeah, where's the support coming in from Klax? He's taking his time. Eventually, Ownage crawls and he says, all right, I'll come to your aid. And he's going to just fake out the bomb. They have money, so I think he's going for the round. When eventually gets the bomb down, this should buffer the economy a little bit. Needs to bounce and land some headshots, but unfortunately, too many bullets, the rifles, the automatics kept bringing him down through the box. That's the second round for King Guards. And yeah, a good response, I'd say.
Absolutely, couldn't agree more, but just bear in mind that that wasn't a full investment from the side of Regicide. This will be their full purchase. They are going to be able to buy full rifles. They don't get an AWP up, unfortunately. They do have an AWP to deal with on the CT side. You see Delitos, he's got an AWP up on him, so I'm interested to see where he takes that duel. But ultimately now we see this buy come back from Regicide. This is a full first rifle on rifle complete round that we're seeing here in front of us.
Bunzo. Interesting flash from players. I guess that supports the mid take coming out from Regicide. Yeah. Woo! That's hot, Chili. Oh, did he finish off? No, it wasn't a. I think Gonzo picking up on Ownage and Connector, but good response in reverse, good flick towards high ground. Gonna be putting a bit of pressure, and Bootsman gets read out, but the lead source it's back to 3 versus 3 advantage loss just like that. The blink of an eye. It's going to be down to Marky and B. He's going to be anchoring it down, looking at the movement from Regicide. They're moving up Cat, and he's going to be dancing around Broken. It's a very good angle to work with, but they're limited in movement. Marky holds down strong. Rotation is coming in, so at 3K, he doesn't need any support. It's all on him.
Yeah, having an absolute jam in that B bomb side so far. Round after round they've come there. Marky doing the business, getting the job done. Lovely to see it. And Regicide just unable to do anything. It's just again splitting or forcing their hand after getting 2 quick picks. Just seem to have lost composure there in the middle of that round and ultimately give it back to King Guards. But that brings us level 3-3 now. Very even game on the hands. It seems Litos missed that shot towards middle. He's able to get that molly off, but not before all of the teams are going to be able to barrel through Connector to get first flag as well, which is dangerous. They've certainly spotted the second player as well, and we spot another one towards Cat, but now rotation should be making this pretty tricky, and eventually Gonzo goes down, drops the rifle 4 versus 4. But the Tech 9 gets the frag towards that CT, going for another. The AWP misses the shot. Roger, huge impact. Goes for the AWP towards CT as well. Perhaps a little bit greedy, but he's got support there from window, and suddenly Regicide have turned this around completely around. They had no business in winning now. They are completely dominating. 3 players left, all the rifles in the world, picking up some flashbangs, just a shopping spree, and just like that, Regicide steal it back from King Gods, and they are fortunate enough to have a little bit of a common economy rolling there. Marky Farky, the man with the money, is he going to drop over a couple of items for you? So it looks like they're going for the full save here. So just like that, things have been turned on their head. Regicide back in a lead, in a strong position here. When you consider that this is their T campaign, you said these guys were the favorites, so the more rounds they get on this side, it's certainly going to be easier. We'll spend an easier time on the CT side, and just like that, first frag again goes the way of Regicide. Pick off that progression, waiting for that mistake to come through. Picks up a rotation as well, gets crazy and steps into the side to get a third. Looks for the fourth, gets his positioning and is able to spot that out. They spot the last player towards that CT spawn, so that's all the information they need to win this round. And lose anything more than one, it'll be a win for the CT side. But you can see they're hungry, they're ready to go collect that rifle. Don't want anything going over to the next round of Regicide. Looking good, 5-3 now, and solid. Some solid ziz coming out of Regicide here. Quick paced rounds and really committed to their plan of action. And you see them absolutely just walk over King Gods. It looked like they were collecting it together tools, but after that, straight back into a tough position.
Yeah, well, it was based off that fast-paced eco. Started to connect that, disrupted them in the previous round. Easy win for them. Not an easy win, that's work for it, but still, it's put them in dire straits. Kingsguard needs to land some good shots, and there we go. It's Clax coming up from Connector. Surprise, surprise. Delivering in spades down to own it. Ooh, always going big for a double over there. They went for a B split, and yeah, from this point on, that's the next couple of seconds, or the next tool that should tell the full story, and it's Blades. That's an important kill out. They should be able to sort and figure out the post one from here. They're almost getting reversed ecoed themselves, Gonzo. Good idea and good awareness to peek toward Cat. That smoke isn't the wall. Delete us and reverse left alive. And presumably guess from this point and onwards, Regicide should be picking up this round. Oof, yeah, free amp Gonzo. And Kingsguard gonna invest into this round. They're gonna have a lot of money considering last round. It was forcible, but I'm assuming they wanted the A1's full utility. All the bells and whistles, Regicide Gaming. I think they got a bit of a bonus in their bank, so pretty much buy in the next 2 rounds, provided they get the bomb round in one of those 2 rounds. So gonna see how it plays that top mid smoke. Usual early round utility from both teams just to secure their pathing, not to lose too many lives earlier on. Almost.
On a peak, both players spotting each other. Delito's definitely aware of that position now, and you see the body come in, and he doesn't have a smoke to get rid of it, but he gets picked off, and that's an easy frag for Regicide. And that's the problem with the lack of util when you force up and buy those rifles, those M4 specifically. You don't choose to go for the FAMAS. You get mollied out like that, and well, I suppose all you need is some aim then. You see 2 quick frags, must be, yeah, go the way of King God, and they're just taking those duels, and it seems like Regicide are welcoming them to it. It's a bit of a strange settle piece of decision making there from them, and now they're going to group up, change things up, head towards that B side. They haven't had much success here. Yes, they did win the previous round, but it was against that eco round. But otherwise, Marky Farky's been holding that like an absolute legend, and they are electing to go towards this lowest area now, not committing towards that B, and they are going to move towards that connector area. But this man, Ownage, is in such a good position. I love this angle, and he spots the player first. Oh, he's unable to get towards window, but he's got a smoke. He can get out. That's perfect play. 4 versus 2 now. Very tough position for Regicide to recover. Are going to make their way back towards B, but Ownage is going to be in a position to assist his teammate very, very shortly. He just needs to survive this original take of the site. No, there we go. He's in time. Gets it. Not going to be able to get a bomb plant. That's what you would want if you are Regicide here. Unless Chilwell can go huge. Find a gap. Oh, spots player there. Should be aware that there's multiple. Now, Clax walks out. Easy as you like. Good response there from King Gods, and Regicide not really using much of a tactile approach, taking the duels and just unfortunately not coming out on top. But they're not going to be too mad. They've got quite a bit of bucks in the bank. They can certainly buy up one more time.
Yeah, Kingsguard really finding those individual duels. Regicide wasn't ready for most of them towards air ramp, towards middle, so I think lingering around too much without being proactive in middle is always going to cost you. So, I mean, huddling up towards that A site, and Blades tasked to just be a bit of a distraction in middle. See, Clax is already responding there, and the pressure has been established, so the utility has been dished out, and Hootsman picks up the first entry frag. Nice headshot there on Ducky. Reverse, really overextending without any support, so this site should be free for the next couple of seconds. There's a massive flank coming in from Marquis. He's going to take the long route towards Palace, so he's going to be the linchpin in on this. Gonzo is going to move into Palace. If he cleans this out, oh man, I think Gonzo's going to go down for free. It could even work in their favor if Gonzo goes down, purely because they'll know where the last player is. And oh, Rafiki, Mark just needed players around him to survive for that extra couple of seconds so he can actually make the play. Didn't work out. Regicide, I think quick on the trigger in most of the occasions, just based on Blades putting out that smoke earlier on in A ramp. You knew it was going to be an A breach, and yeah, King Gods just weren't ready.
Seven, 4 now, and I like this change of pace. You see a 5-man stack towards this A site though, so best position are the CTs, but 2 quick frags. Let's see if they just ignore the rest of the base. So, they surely know that there is in fact a stack going on. It is just Clax, the last man left, and he's just able to get it in behind enemy line somehow and get something, but ultimately it is decided to quickly convert that round, and that puts us back on the buy now for the CTs.
Yeah, bear in mind this is the CT sided map, so they're sweating bullets right now, trying to figure out solutions to their problems. I think it's just turtling a bit more, find that entry frag and pull back a bit and really force Regicide to dig deep into a site and really commit if they want to find information. So it's going to go straight into back-to-back A breaches. This is a bit quicker, so Chili Boy moving into the side of entry fragger, just pre-aims the player in sight and switches for a second. Oh, a flick of the wrist there. The Lutz Owens and CT spawn, trying to pick up the first bind as ever. He's got an extra teammate, Ownage doesn't spawn, but Regicide, this aggression is relentless, so King's Guard can't even get the bearings straight and find information before they're getting peppered down, so a 2 versus 1 from Marquis. Another opportunity, lost alive in the previous round to try and make a difference. Has a better gun this time round. Dance around the Marquis. Insane double. Good reaction shot in the second as well. Crazy. Absolutely crazy.
The myth, the legend. We spoke about his prowess over on the B side. Turns out it's not there, but he's the most proficient. That was a beautiful set of footwork and head movement there to see him clutch out the round. Beautiful stuff.
Yeah, so how did Marquis win that round? Good footwork and head movement. Of course.
That's it.
Compliments about that aim.
Far superior.
Yeah. Alright, so Regicide, some food for thought around Throne. Of course, the IGL's going to be a bit displeased, not too happy about that outcome. So fire has been turned up a little underneath the side of Regicide. So Ownage does a fight towards middle. Inferior weaponry, so I really favor him in those duels. Delete ones has the A1 towards Captain. That's the easiest kill of his life. Oh! Trade comes out. Clax has picked one up, but the advantage still on the side of King Guards. I think he's been in a good space over here. There is a lurk from Blades coming out from A ramp. He's found himself in a really good spot towards default. The bomber's going to be doubling back towards the A side. It's going to come down to the fighting spawn, but he gets dinked but finishes it off. So both players really unfortunate, but at the end of the day, Blades is the one that comes out on top. And still have to bear in mind that the linchpin is Hootsman lurking there towards the middle. They're not planting for him, so he's going to have to probably show his hand sooner than he expected. He has caught a sleeping player there towards Murder Hall. Perfect lurk, right time, right place, but at the same time, Delete gets a double. Hootsman, he has to rotate. He's stuck behind the molly. It's not planted for him, so he's going to have to get a move on. Surely it's being defused, but pulls out a molly at the wrong time. Yeah, the communication is a bit off from Regicide at the moment. They should have definitely planted for jungle or planted for bottom CT. Or Hootsman should have pushed through CT spawn. The post plant should have been set up from there. But either way, both parties weren't communicating right. And letting it slip a little 2 rounds away from Regicide. King Guards really pulling it back. keeping it at arm's length.
Yeah, keeping it within 1 or 2, and again, I mean, considering the start, certainly going to be happy with this performance. I mean, they would have liked to have won the half, but I mean, being at 7 is closest damage. You could just literally win the pistol and you're back in it. But yeah, I mean, Regicide definitely questionable decision making there to plant in the generic spot, especially in the head of control. I know the player towards CT, I think it was Hootsman, he was just very low from it. I mean, it was the Blades or something, I think it was just very low. Very, very tough for him to commit further to CT, but there we go. First frag goes the way, and it is the man of Blades that we see take that kill. And now Regicide in front again. We've seen them time and time again have these opening duel successes, but a lot of times King God always responds. Now we see a slight little burst here towards this B site, and no players getting spotted. It's easy as you like. One player goes down. So far, this B bomb site has been absolutely atrocious for Regicide. I don't think they've won more than one round other than that anti-eco, and just looking really solid. Our King Guards on that B bomb site, but that is the half over, and the sides will be switching 8-7 here for Regicide Gaming. There were our picks tools, so certainly would expect a little bit more from them here, but I'm sure they're going to be happy. Both teams probably pretty okay with where they're at right now.
Yeah, Regicide, you can see mechanically, I think they're a bit ahead. Looking at the kill feed and looking at some of the duels that they've taken have been pretty explicit in the sense that they are going to win that duel, just mechanically speaking, how they move around the map. But Regicide, on the CT side, it's a bit easier to be picking up those kills, so Kingsguard really have some work on their hands. One round behind, so the pistol round could be the big difference maker. A smoke towards Cat to suggest that they could potentially be going B. They could pick a good timing here. Only 2 members, not in the right spots from Regicide on that B side, so we have some shots to land here. Roger needs to land a headshot there. He turns and spins for the second. Blind as ever, can't find the second, and Blades is rolled in with that support, getting pushed left, right, and center. The bullets need to start landing from Kingsguard. The bomb's down, so that's an achievement in itself. But Marky, 1 versus 3, unfortunately. Smith rolls in hot and heavy, and that's the 9th round on the board. So Kings got some food for thought in the next round. They got some kills, they got the bomb down. The force is on the cards for sure.
Yeah, absolutely. Definitely want to purchase up there. They got the bomb down, and see them already picking up all those Mac 10s, and it's really going to come down to how much air armor is being purchased here on the side of Regicide Gaming. But barreling towards B seems to be the name of the game here. Mirage is really looking to run straight through. Early flashes as well. Signals should be out. Spots as well. And Util's not be able to get up for the CTs. They are under overwhelming pressure here, but the crossfire stays good, and it isn't enough. It's not. Finally, they trade out perfectly, and eventually even get the better of the trades. 2 versus 2 now. One of the players is a little bit low, but this is concerning. Gonzo on this flank here. Really. Oh, is he spotted? No, he's not. Gets that bomber, can move back, gets into a defensive position. I like this. His teammate is now kind of isolating himself by pushing out that window, slowly trying to look for him. Oh, beautiful little shot to the farmers there. I cannot use that gun like that, but Gonzo showing us how it should be done, and it looked a bit dicey there for a second, tools, but the crossfire remains true and remains solid enough for Regicide to take that round. 10-7 now, double digits for the CT side. Yep, and now stock standard stuff coming off the bat. See top mid smoke, nothing really being invested. Yeah, we see the Deagles or Glocks. They are splitting towards as low as, but mid aggression is the name of the game, and they are just cutting off this this 2-pronged attack. And now you got 1 player left on each side of the map, tools. But I mean, not much to be expected here, sir.
Yeah, it's an eco round. They didn't have armor to work with. The Deagles didn't make much of an impact. They couldn't get the right spacing or pre-aim the right way. But the Sheriff, okay, well, the Sheriff does lose against the Tech 9. Expected. Both have multiple bullets, but no armor, no party at all. But the previous rounder, yeah, I'd say that B breached very, very touch and go for Regicide. I think if kills didn't go their way, or the shots were landing from King's Guard precisely. They broke the crossfire. They landed just in time, but hanging on tight. I guess they had the A1 and the FAMAS coming in. The rotations was a bit quick. They had a player jumping low, so Regicide real proactive in this in their movement around the board. Rafiki making this round pretty competitive. Okay, it's gonna be a 2 versus 2 soon. 1 versus 2. Perhaps can even get the bomb down. Got Timoli, so more to work with now for Clax. Perhaps they put the pedal off the metal a little bit. Roger, any moment now should close it up. That's going to be 11th round on the board. So King's Guard making it expensive. So I think the next round, if they can pick that up, Regicide should perhaps go into a force and that create an opportunity for them to string some rounds together. There you go. The buys do come out and about. AKs all around for King Guards. Some nice skins, some nice knives. Good bullet count, good kill count on that AK from Delete Ons. Delete O's. It means delete people in South African.
Yep.
Or Doritos. Either way, it rhymes. Mid control. Quite easily established for our King's Guard, so gonna come down to the response from Regicide. Good grenade from Lowe's. Doesn't do much damage. Rafiki's collecting all that fire burn. 4 degree, 5 degree, 3rd degree burns all over him. 16 HP left Clax. Trying to fish out and about. And the next move, all 5 players are here in the middle, so leaves them no option with the split. So it's going to be a single pronged attack with potentially a lurker. Gonzo is going to pop a flash and go for the peak. So he spots the players and he calls it out. So he's going to take some high ground here, win out that fight. Wow, I thought they would have double peaked off that. They're going to be moving in. Yeah, gap between the smoke isn't really clean. Good grenade damage. Blast him. That'll blast from the part. Look at the HP on King's Guard though. So the Farmers really thrives in these situations, peppering them down. Gonzo, easiest kill of his life. There's a lurker in the smoke. Delete O's. I need to land some clean headshots here looking at the HP. Blades awareness tingles a bit to suggest there could be a player in spawn and gets the double. 21 kills on Blades. Strong performance. An MVP, I'd say he's been doing most of the damage.
Yeah, certainly put in a strong performance, yeah. (12-7) now, and you see a little bit of a broken pie here. You guys are able to afford much more than that, but looks like their breach is heading towards their side. Probably going to wait for this molly and just set up the straight up A executes. And right now, they are hitting a slightly weakened side. You can see now, the timing. CTs are making their way back now. It is a beautiful array of smokes getting thrown out, and Hoonsman is obviously tucked way back in the sights. All players out of apps, and Chili Woody does spot him, gets blinded though, and it's pretty good here. This delayed little aspect of the breach has actually helped them quite a bit, and left and right they're just falling down, and suddenly it's 2 versus 4, and one of those players has gotten off. Lots of beautiful left in the CT pockets, but ultimately it is King Guards that take the advantage in this round early on, and that was a beautiful little breach there. Perhaps a couple of overzealous peaks from the side of Regicide, but that gives them a path back in this game. Remember, it's not that much buck in the bank for the side of Regicide if they are to lose this. They are going for it for 2 versus 3 now. Ownage perfectly on the edge of the smoke, but just changes direction as he tries to go for the shot. And now Clax, is he spotted? I don't think he was. And now all the players on the sides. He's busy defusing, but straight through the smoke. Clax is not going to fall for that. The man is an absolute demon. And 12-8 now. A surprising round. Sudden bounce back from King Guards, and that puts a lot of pressure on the CT economy. They are forced now to eco, and King Guards can get their way back into this game. Beautiful round, beautiful execute, beautiful all round there from King Guards.
Yeah, majority of the time whenever I see a player go stairs on these type of rounds, especially with the Tech 9, it's like they're caught out. The player, the rotating player from Genocide or CT side gets caught out in general, so it works using that robust pace, that execute utility, causing a bit of a distraction, losing information or where they could possibly be. And it's not just to defend the site. At any moment now, he should be going down. The flashbangs are good. It's the stock's done at Eco, so you kind of expect them to win this. Gonzo as an AK, looking to save that into the next round. It should help out. A more potent buy should come out of them with that AK out and about. Not money for an AWP, I think. I'd have to see their loss bonus, in fact, to make that call, but a good 9th round on the board for Kingsguard. So, another day, another gun round. Kingsguard looking to prove her point. Regicide, they are the favorites of this matchup, but so far this hasn't been easy for them. I think a lot of the contention has been around towards that middle and B side area. And yeah, Blades, very common play, so gotta be expecting the rebuttal shot to the face. Once again in a 4 versus 5, but take that back. Hootsman really brought it back, but he's the player lurking below him. He needs to be aware. He's going to swing wide, win out that fight, and the spacing isn't good from Kingsguard, so making it a lot easier for Hootsman to move around and collect these frags. At the same time, Clay is lurking towards that B site, and it's completely vacant. It's basically why the rotation is coming out and about. Ownage is going to stay towards A, cause a bit of diversion. Roger. No, it's Chili to help that up. But now the bomb's stuck in the middle of nowhere.
Oh,
If it goes towards the A site, it's going to take a long time. If it goes towards B, it's going to be pressured. Yeah, agreed with you. It is a disaster. All round. Reverse. Needs to reenact the Superman movie if he is to. Just bring them closer away to that lead. 3 rounds apart from Regicide. Even a buy could work out. 7k on Rafiki, 3k on Claire. I'm sure Reverse, he's lacking a bit of chum change. Although Marky could drop to him, so yeah. I think wait for exits. I'll wait for some overextension from Regicide Gaming. But yeah, a bit loosey-goosey in the earlier and mid stages of the round. What led to this, their demise, essentially.
Yeah, it was a bit of a broken, perhaps a little overzealous there on the pick towards window. They think they can hit that A site without any sort of rise for concern there because they get that AWP on the window or kill the window. But ultimately, they just go in one by one, and that Usman. Oh, what was? Oh, there was a molecule. There was a flash kill for something else. Whoa, huge. But nevertheless, that AWP is not going to be able to be saved into the next round, and suddenly Revere is in just no position to drop anything, and now there is no AWP. They do have a Krieg though, but on the other side of the spectrum, we see even AK-47s in the hands of CT is going to be happy, going to be comfortable with that round. We see another casual start to the round here with the default towards middle, but control is again being established. You're going to see some challenging from Collector there. This is just business as usual tools, nothing surprising just yet. Some aggression towards short though. This is very fast. This is what I like. But no, doesn't clear his angle, and now he's able to move in towards that B side. They are able to trade him though, but now this connector support comes in, and it's all up to the last player towards that B. He's able to get one before he goes down. That's enough, I think. 2 versus 3 now. MVP there. Chili Willy dropping a nice grenade there towards the bomb sites, and now just waiting for the peak. He does spot one player, but doesn't commit to the kill, and suddenly it's a 2 versus 2 now, but surely both players, their positions are known. Beautiful adjustment from Hootsman there, getting familiar with where the site is, and now Delitos with that quick frag, and it's Hootsman that gets complete, caught completely unaware, and it is Delitos that is just deleting those.
Yeah, there were little to no comms there. I got a bit dicey there from Regicide. Oh, that should have been called out immediately. There was a player in cats, and you never want to go through a smoke without information, so eventually Kingsguard with the man disadvantage, in fact winning out that clutch on that B side. So a good fast-paced approach. It took a lot of front damage going in from Captain up at B, but eventually just fought their way through the round and clutched it out. An all-important round. It forces Regicide into an eco, so that's double digits for Kingsguard. Some confidence should be coming out of them right about now. So you see they just focus up on consistently picking up these rounds. Even if they don't, they're doing a lot of damage. So I think finally starting to wake up. better late than never, I'd say.
Absolutely, and right now, Kingsguard within 2. We saw this early in the map, and it seemed like Regicide had caught their foots in again and started to run away with it, but Kingsguards are saying, no, we are here to play, we're here to stay, and we're going to finish out our T half here and put you under pressure. And right now, they are really putting a lot of pressure on the side of Regicide, able to build a little bit of economy, get themselves a bit of a cushion going here with the rounds to come. Oh, it's a beautiful flash there, just cuts off Delitos as it's about to take that window shot. And interesting to see the changes of the dynamics here. Open peaks towards middle. Now that the AWPs are off the server, makes things a little bit open, a little bit loose.
100%. They have found some space at the late mid-take. One of the options you'd pick, and that's a free frag there. Nice and easy does it, and they continue playing this way. You can just see Regicide overextending here and there. It's got to a point where they might start getting a bit timid to take these duels once they start getting battered even further and further. Cax is lurked out towards the A ramp, and it's an anchor in the form of Hootsman who's there. Oh, and it's Blades with the double kill. Marquis, good lurk, and he's gone towards the East corner. He's all alone and he needs to win out this frag, but the overextension from Roger shouldn't be taking these duels. Yeah, it's a big misplay from Roger, really dropping the ball over there. It's down to Hootsman. And there we go. The savior and grace for Regicide Gaming. 14 rounds on the board.
Yeah, but it is only him that is able to drop a gun tools. This is a very stretched economy here. You're going to have to get some pharmacists, perhaps shorten util, perhaps even a pistol yell there. You can see a broken by, but quite a steady one on the side of the T's. But this is their last chance. They have to win this round. I mean, the score doesn't allow it. The economy doesn't allow it to go any further or any closer than that. So what do we see here from Kingsguards? We see them setting up again for this. It's a breach. It was successful for them on the anti-eco, or on the eco round, excuse me, and now they're setting up to do it with the guns. Right now, we do see a little bit of a presence towards A, but now all the smokes come in. The support is very far. That molly is in a nice position. There's no molly towards that under duckies, and now the breach is being separated. What a crazy jump towards Sandwich, and he gets it. I can't believe it. How does he get that kill, but quickly gets traded as well? And that's the problem with those sorts of plays. It's so one and done that you leave it up to your teammates now instead of it being a sure thing. But right now the bomb is down. Marky Farky and Revere. 2 versus 2 here. Gonzo and Chili Willy. Some of the higher performers, but there it goes. Surely both players are spotted. Gonzo knows that they're both lurking towards this bomb site area, and he's going to try and sneak around. Gets one of the players, not able to kill him, has to reload. The player jumps on towards the box, gets his position, and boom. Kingsguards, they respond with strength, and they are back in this. This is an absolute disaster here for the side of Regicide Gaming. They've completely given this away to Kingsguards, and just had, again, no idea that A exec was coming, despite having that early util to prevent them from hitting to the sides. It just felt when the breach eventually found its momentum, there were no CTs to be found. Well, there were CTs jumping in towards Sandwich, but then nothing after that. So, yeah, tough round if you Regicide Gaming, that's for sure.
Yeah, and on top of that, they're going to straight towards the B side, Kingsguard, and Roger once again shown he's had a tough time in this B side in the last couple of rounds, so really needs to step it up in the next gun round. Nah, blinking you'll miss it all. One player left to arrive, ready many, and 1 minute 30 on the clock. The bomb's already down, so it's an eco round, kind of expected. Some eco damage, perhaps collecting that AK could do wonders in the next round, but will he be allowed? Yeah, there was no world in which he picks up that gun, so this is really going the distance between these two formidable teams. Kingsguard up against Regicide. It is the best of one, bear that in mind. So,
could we be seeing our first overtime here, Tools? I mean, don't want to jinx it too early, but this is looking like a really tight game. Regicide forces Savior. It's going to put Kingsguards onto 14-14. Pretty much the most likely I think we've ever seen it.
Nice nade towards A ramp. Yeah, bloodbath towards A ramp. Okay, he took a lot of nade damage, but yeah, he's able to hold on with that rifle. Get the garden hose up in the butt and pedal back towards safety. Or barely. Blades is tracking him down though. Where's Chili? He's in the B side. And they're going to be heading towards the A side. So it should be 14-14 goalsy. Kingsguard really reeling it back. It's the first time I think this matchup they'll be even. Yeah.
Yeah, pretty much.
And to be honest, it's all due to Regicide. They have been dropping the ball quite a bit. Kingsguard doing well to catch when somebody throws, and doing what's needed to get kills out of players, of extending here and then and playing in isolated spots. So they're doing what's right for them, and it's working out, and they've gotten themselves to this point. So let's just see if the Regicide step it up. They got an AWP out in Blades, and yeah, there has been missing a bit, I'd say, in the defense from Regicide. Haven't really seen AWPs, so perhaps that could be the difference maker for them.
Yep, now I can imagine things calming down here as we move into the final 2 rounds. Yeah, this round is certainly going to be making a statement. If it comes down to the wire, you certainly got to favor the side of T's based on that cheaper kind of cost of living, really. But with that said, Regicide strike first, take first blood, get that first frag, and can retreat and make things more passive here. They've got the lead, don't need the pressure, don't need to make mistakes like they have been making over these rounds. But King Guards have been really good at capitalizing. Good little connector smoke there again to shorten the weaknesses from middle. Able to spot towards that cat area, make sure that the B guys don't get surprised. Faki and Revere here just waiting for some sort of change in position towards that window area, but nothing just yet. They are going to smoke off that cat area now and start making some decisions.
Elito has just collected a grenade to the face. Blaze has, I think, thrown a one-way. It was Team has thrown a one-way. But it's going to allow him to lurk and just have some eyes on the middle a little bit, not too much information. I like the double CT setup. No one's isolated in this site, so while they're clearing it out, they could be picking up some free kills. They're flashed towards Bulk, and finally the collapse on the A site is going to start to begin. Marky taking the lead in entry frag and clearing it out, and he's wondering where the CTs are. I think Gonzo got left high and dry there from his teammate playing in window, Roger. And Hootsmith, he's going to try and pepper some bullets through the wall, and there we go. The support does roll in hot and heavy. Needs to land a double. It's Marky left alive towards jungle, and he hears the player rotating in, so he's worried about that. But should be tapping the bomb to try to force him out. So they have an idea of where he could be, but unfortunately Chile wins out that door. That's a match point, and that bomb plant will allow them to get all the money in the world to purchase up and make the next round competitive. But it's going to come down to that AWP Blades finally making some impact, sitting on 27 kills. And I did say earlier on that he'd be the difference maker for Regicide Gaming, but it is the last round on the board to play for.
Absolutely. And I mean, the thing about the T's there is, yes, they had enough money to buy, but it's about the damage that they could do to the CT economy. Unfortunately, 3 players there being alive, so they're able to fully purchase and supplement their full buy here, full util as well. They've got that AWP on the Danger Man in Blades that you mentioned, and right now, it all comes down to this. Do King Guards bring this back, take us to overtime, or will we see Regicide's the favorites, despite an early lead or an early show of being superior here, taking it down to the wire and closing this out? But nothing getting done here before the minute 30 mark. Do see quite a few plays. Oh, but that's the up and down. It's a beautiful little frag there coming from Roger. He's been struggling, Tools. You've been mentioning it this entire half, but maybe that is the impact that he needs. And another frag goes the way of Regicide Gaming, and Blaze gets away with his life with 1 HP as well.
One.
Just like that, Regicide in such a comfortable position.
And see the Litos is pedaling back to set up some A smokes here, and this is officially their last chance, the last crack at it, the last dance for Kingsguard. And then they need to make it work with the 2-man disadvantage. Blaze is on low HP, so I think he'll be playing at distance. You can see he's playing outside window. The smokes do come in, and Gonzo has called it, so the rotation should be start coming in at any moment now. And do they exercise patience? It's a player who moved around triple, and he's picked up the first, and at the same time, Gonzo, he's going to drop down like Batman and hopefully try to finish it off, and that's GG 16-14. Nail-biting series come up from these two teams, but fortunately enough, Regicide Gaming, our picks, to be honest, at the beginning have picked it up. So Kingsguard, a bit of resistance up until the final point. I mean, 1 round left on the board, and it could have easily gone to overtime. you said it and almost came into fruition, but Regicide towards the end. And I think it was Blades who made the big difference going in with that AWP the last couple of rounds to pick up those entry frags. But all in all, what are your thoughts?
Yeah, absolutely. I think we saw a lot closer game than we anticipated. I think Registrar came out on top, kind of expected. I do feel like they're slightly the better team, but it's such a shame to see a team go all the way 16-14 and just come up with nothing, But at the end of the day, kind of expected it, and Regicide go through. Commiserations to the opponent, but ultimately that's kind of struck out. But I mean, good to watch some good CSC on day 3.
Yeah, 100%. And this is a clear case of, Counter-Strike is the game of two halves. You can have a better performance on the T side than the CT side, which Kings God were almost there. I think 1 or 2 rounds that could have gone their way. It just on a different day, it could work out. But unfortunately, commiserations to them. But we're going to throw it over to the desk to see how they dissect that performance.
Thank you so much, Golds and Lighter. What a game that we just witnessed. 16-4. I think one of the closest, if not 16-14, excuse me. One of the closest, if not the closest game that we've had this entire tournament, at least for our region, South Africa and Kenya and Nigeria. And before we get in depth with the analyzation, let me remind you guys about the $50 that is up for grabs to be added to your Steam wallet. All you have to do is go on gaming.lenovo.com. You can either post a clip from the broadcast or you can go and vote for your favorite team. And while you're there, make sure you browse around for some different offers. All right, analysts, I know you're very keen to talk about this game, so I won't take too much of your time. Please go ahead.
Okay, what do you want to know?
I want to know everything A to Z. Tell me.
Let's talk about a wonderful game that ended in a very close series, 16-14. Regicide proved to us that they can win the game. Now, let's talk about some important factors here. One of them being the first half. Regicide was leading. However, it ended in 8-7, and there's something that is really that we have seen round by round, which is the after plant situation by Regicide. They just kept aiming aggressively. They don't take their time in post plant situations. 2v2, 2v1, 3v2. It led them. Listen, it could have ended 11-4 just because of these rounds. But as you see, 8-7 is a very close scoreboard. Talking about T-side. T-side is, I don't know why he's laughing, but let's continue.
I think he has something in his mind where he wants to contradict what you're saying, perhaps.
One thing that was not visible, actually, in T-side is the opposing team that Regicide was facing. They were not countering what they were doing really well. I don't understand this, but Regicide, okay, they played a good game. However, there were very big major mistakes happening. Really big major mistakes. Don't you agree?
No, I actually agree, and I'm not laughing.
I thought you were disagreeing.
No. I'm not disagreeing. Actually, the game was so close, but we've seen a lot of mistakes. The game was basically just based on individual plays. We didn't see any teamwork that we should have seen. Like, really, that is an inferno. But we've seen really good game, individually playing. The retakes for Terra was really good. They got them back-to-back rounds, retakes. They won a couple of rounds that made the first half so close. At the same time, from the T side, they played really well, but there was so many mistakes from both teams. Like, this is a game that I would love to see in a best of 3 again. These two teams, I would love to see them in a best of 3.
To add a note to that,
yes.
sorry to interrupt you,
No
but
problem.
one important point here. As Adam said, in the retakes, they were really getting successful rounds by King God. Now, basically in a retake, how is it successful? You throw your nades, you try to enter together, but in this case, the retake was just basically just wait and aim. And actually, Regicide was just over peaking. Really, it's a very bad thing to actually repeat. Just take your time, wait for the enemy team to actually approach you, play an off-angle situation or positions, try to actually double peek at the same time, because they actually tried to double aim, but it was like one aim and the second one was actually late 1 second. You see that 1 second or millisecond can actually cost you the round. So my advice to Regicide, after this game, they need to sit together, watch the demo in depth to actually know what was going wrong. because these rounds actually cost you not only 5 or 6, can cost you the whole map.
Apart from that, the utility usage was there, but it wasn't exactly on point, as Sami said. And to add something about the retakes, there is so many like you plant a triple for connector, you can just go connector, you can play post plant, you can just
4v2,
hide, play on
right?
timing. Yeah, there is a lot of critical rounds that if you want to talk about in depth, we're not gonna stop from the mistakes. But in general, as Sami said, they should watch the demo, learn from the mistakes. Post plants are very important, especially winning the game 16-14. So losing so many rounds because of the retake and the post plant plays.
Coming at this kind of caliber of a tournament, you're playing in a prestigious tournament. You can't deny the fact, not on top of the prize pool, but actually the teams that are participating in this tournament, you need to actually play in a very, very focused and systematic role. You can't just ignore the fact, just play like rounds just here and there and winning them luckily. You need to actually have it calculated. You need to play focused. I've not seen that a lot. It's a lot of 4v2, as he was talking, Adam was talking. 4v2, plant for connector. They lost it.
That was definitely too bad for them making those small mistakes, especially since we had one of the most exciting games of the tournament,
True.
perhaps.
It is
Yes,
an
true.
exciting game.
But you guys went fully in depth. I think you covered everything. So let's just go ahead and take a look at the recap for today's matches and for the qualifiers for Kenya and Nigeria. Just to recap for today, Zero Hacks versus Terra Esports. Zero Hacks were a wild card from South Africa, and Terra Esports managed to take the win. And our second game that we just witnessed, Regicide Gaming versus King Guards, with the wild card winners from Kenya, Nigeria getting the win, proving that they deserved a second chance and they came back. So a question that I do want to ask you guys about, the closeness of this game. So you guys were talking about, we were watching the game, you said, wow, this is the closest possibly game, but I want to remind you about a different game. ATK versus Tenacity, the game that ATK lost in the first round, in the first time, and Tenacity managed to get the win, but then ATK came back and got the win. So if you recall, ATK versus Tenacity was insanely close as well. So would you call that one a closer game, or would you call this one the closest game of the tournament that we've seen so far?
I think Tenacity and ATK wasn't as close as this, because this game was
Round by
it's actually, yeah, it was round by round, but at the same time it was actually 14-10, and here it was 14-11. And then they did the comeback again, they won the game. But the thing is that we didn't see the ops. Like, we didn't see a lot of op plays in this game as we did in Tenacity and AT Gaming. I think they should focus more on opening as well, because an opper can actually get you a lot of opening kills and a lot of starter kills that can get you an advantage, one-man advantage lead early round.
Well, upping was definitely a very essential product of this game. You said 99%, critical thing to have in this game. And if you had the op skills, it would be the difference of whether you qualified or not. And speaking of which, let's see the teams that did qualify from our regions, from South Africa, Kenya, and Nigeria, for who will be proceeding to the playoffs. We have from South Africa, Bravado Gaming, a name that definitely stands out. Nibble Hayes, Mayo Addicts, my favorite. Nabi, a very, very favorite of the analysts as well. GP2 AIM, 80K, our wildcard winners. Tenacity and White Rabbit Gaming. And from Nigeria and Kenya, we have Illicit Esports, Royalty, ATK Academy, DNMK Esports, Goliath Gaming, Terra Esports, VYBN Esports, and our wildcard winners from Kenya and Nigeria, Regicide Gaming. Now, we've watched all of these teams play. Do you think we have a good lineup here?
Excellent lineup.
Excellent lineup.
Excellent lineup, yeah.
All right, so
I agree.
if I asked you to place them first, second, third, let's not include the other regions. Let's just include South Africa, Kenya, and Nigeria
I
so
think my
far.
face says it all, Nabi.
I know Nabi takes first place. Give me second and third based on what
Second
we've
and
seen
third.
the past 2
Okay.
weeks.
Let's go with Bravado. What do you think the third team?
Bravado in second.
I'm really excited to see Bravado against
Nabi?
Nabi.
I
really
think
wanna
it
see
has
that.
been a while for Bravado, and we want to
I
refresh
really
our
want to
minds
see this game.
with their games. Well, we don't know who's going to be set up against who, but hopefully we do get that matchup.
I would like to see them in the semi-final. Bravado versus Nabi. Whoever wins this game,
Should win
Will-
the tournament.
no, we have Nasser.
I know we have Nasser.
Oh, but
I
we're
know.
not
think
including them
Nasser
right
is
now.
good.
We're
No.
including South Africa, Kenya, and Nigeria.
But we're
Just that.
talking about South Africa and Nigeria.
Okay, South Africa and Nigeria. Let's have Nabi.
Okay.
Okay,
First place?
against Regicide.
Okay.
Regicide. Let's see who will win.
I think Nabi, because Nabi plays CS.
Hold that. You
No,
said you'll see them in a best of three. You can't just predict.
no, you said Nabi and Regicide.
And Regicide. Who
Yeah.
think will win?
Nabi. All the
Nabi.
way. All the way for a
Nabi.
reason. Because
50-50.
if they're gonna keep, if Regicide doesn't focus on the small mistakes that they did today, especially in post plans, because they're really good in entering sites, they're good in executing, they're good in going in as a group. But the post plant is the problem. It's a big issue for them that they really need to work hard for if they wanna actually compete and stay in this tournament.
Well, hopefully they do manage to improve with their op games because we seem to be lacking in that in this certain region. But hopefully they can master their op skills in the playoffs and they can get their hands on this juicy prize pool that I'm going to remind you guys about one more time before we end for today. We have $12,000 for first place, $5,000 for second place, and $3,000 for third place. Now that's something that anyone should be aspiring to. That's something that Nabi could acquire, Bravado could acquire, Regicide could acquire. It's anyone's game right now. And if there were any people in the audience right now who are future esports players, do you have any advice to give them based on the games that we've seen today? Any mistakes that you noticed that they should not be repeating in their games?
I think it goes to the talented player.
No, I think anybody who's watching the games today or the whole tournaments, they should understand that there is mistakes that we talk about that people should learn from. I'm not saying we're the perfect players. No, we all make mistakes. But the fact that we mention the game mistakes, and we talk about this, especially the small ones that might look normal for some players, but actually means the whole round and the whole game. They should focus on, for example, post plans. Like today, our major problem in this game was post plans from both teams, but the most it was coming out from Regicide Gaming. Communication inside the game, they should focus on it. Whenever you're playing in a team, you should know how to be able to communicate in good terms. There is a lot of things that they should focus on that we talk about, or any tournament that they watch in general.
Thank you so much for your feedback. I mean, you guys are the professionals, so I'm sure our audience does appreciate any advice that you can give. Excuse
He
me.
is the professional.
Oh, okay.
After you, sir.
Okay, I guess we're gonna have them talk after the stream, but unfortunately, that's all the time we have for today. And we'd just like to thank Legion by Lenovo for hosting this tournament and for allowing us to be here and to be a part of this journey of representing the regions that may not have the platform before to compete. And anything you guys would like to say before we close?
Nothing. I just want to actually thank to everyone who have watched this amazing qualifiers that we have just ended. And I'm really excited and looking forward to actually look at the next stage, what I told you is gonna be filled with C4s and bombs, fireworks, roller coaster rides. I can't wait, to be honest.
Right. Well, we're so happy to have both of you here. And that concludes our qualifiers for the tournament for South Africa, Kenya, and Nigeria. And we'll be seeing you next time for the playoffs. So make sure you guys stay tuned, and we'll see you guys very soon.
This here, the small exists, he doubles up, can he get the triple?